And
Hi.
there we go.
Hi, everybody.
I see Johnny, I see Robert, I see Gilgamesh, and we will see who else. And you can see our wall. Well, that's the door, and this is where all the cards and letters go.
Yeah.
We hang them up there.
Get them fourth place. Hey,
Yeah,
Kaiser.
is
Good
here.
to see you at the beginning of the live stream.
I see.
And not further down. Hi, Johnny, Robert, Gilgamesh. Where's my below bronze trophy? Yeah.
Yeah. Trophy for like what, 37th place, 100th place, whatever place you got.
Everybody
We'll
gets a trophy nowadays.
You're all winners.
Yeah. We're all winners. All you have to do is show up and you're a winner.
You're all winners. You're all leaders. You're all the future.
Oh, boy.
Maybe not. But anyways, that's about as political as I want to get tonight.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Donald.
What's up, Donald?
Gang? Not much. Just doing our live stream. We have not been able to do a live stream in a while, primarily because we've been going to a lot of shows. And there, Hank is there.
Hey, Hank.
We went to the where the hell did we go? We went to the Legion Comic Convention.
We went to Legion. We went to the one in Tennessee.
Oh, that's right.
I can't remember the name of that one. But we went to the one in Tennessee. That one was a lot of fun. Yeah. The Legion one was a lot of fun too. Don't get me wrong. And then we went to one more. Oh, was it the Retro Toy Swap? I think so.
Yeah, because the next Retro Toy Swap is going to be October 1st, Saturday, October 1st. There's Metro. Johnny wants to know if he got a participation trophy for being in the live stream. I want to choose your figure. No, we're not going that far.
No, you're going to get a thumbs up.
You know what you get is you ever see Steve Martin in The Jerk, and he's a carny, and he says when they won the prize, he says, no, you don't get anything on the wall. You see this section right here, this 1 foot section by 2 inches right here. This is where you're picking from. That's how it is. Yeah, medals in the chat. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, giving up thumbs up, medals, and a little emoji trophy. That's what we're giving up. Hey, Stone Sour, how are you?
Thank you for coming. Custom God says, I have not been able to go to a con or toy show for years. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, we're in I don't know where you are, but we're in a hub. So, we're in the Atlanta area.
Yeah, Metro Atlanta area.
We're not that close to Atlanta, but we're close enough that there's a lot of, we have access. And like the next ones we got coming up are the Joe Fest.
The Joe Fest is coming up on September 9th through the 11th.
And then that's the Retro Toy Swap, which is another really good one, actually, hosted by Retroville.
Yeah.
Retroville hosts it.
Have you guys seen movies by actor-director Takeshi
Kitano? I'm not sure.
That name sounds familiar. Has anyone here heard about that acid gate?
We talked about it. Yeah, they call it acetate gate.
Yeah,
we talked about it a little bit in one video before they really started flying with it, but we didn't want to keep hammering it because a lot of channels, just for the clickbait, or they'll talk about it every single day.
Yeah,
as anything new develops, and it's like nothing new has developed except that CGC's kind of reversed gears a little bit because they saw how bad it was irritating everybody. So now they because it was within guidelines originally, but now CGC said we're going to alter that because obviously this is bothering people. It's just, protecting their assets.
Yeah. Basically. Well, it wasn't inside the guidelines because the guidelines say if you add staples, you can't get a 9/8.
Was it staples?
Yeah. It says that in the guidelines, and they overran that, and even though it had added staples, they were still giving it 9/8. And it's supposed to get
9, 10.
Yeah, and it's supposed to get a certain color label. I think it was a purple or green label, something like that. So they retracted, and now they're going back to the proper label that it's supposed to get. Yeah. I think it's a green label.
I can't remember.
But it was a whole mess, and I watch a lot of videos on comic books and grading.
He's saying there's going to be a private signing with that book. For what? CGC that's one of the main reasons that they're hello, Miss Kitty. That's one of the main reasons that they're so far behind with your orders. And the only way you can even get it close to a realistic time is if you skip the line by paying for the advanced service is because of all the private signings, because those get priority for the grading scales. And so could you not do a private signing for a month or two and catch up with those orders? No, we can't do that. That's not going to happen. Somebody else said something here.
Kaiser was asking if you saw the Dragon Ball Z movie.
I did not see the new Dragon Ball Z movie.
And then Hank said he recently thought of this, but y'all should have a toy or TV show movie pop quiz. Just a few questions every live stream that would. Every live stream.
We haven't done one in a while. Been on in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do a little trivia contest every once in a while.
Occasionally, we usually do TV show intros.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing, but that's been a lot of fun, interesting.
Yeah, it's fun. The intros. We got to do some music.
Oh yeah. We need more music. Somebody's helping me with another a new intro for comic related stuff.
Hey Kaiser.
Comic book related stuff.
Cat trivia.
No.
Timestamp every moment a cat appears. If you can do it, you get first pick at either LPH or David's collection. No. Maybe David's collection, but not mine.
Yeah, the collection of stuff that I'm going to drop off at Goodwill, maybe.
I know we got a box of stuff to send to Goodwill.
We do have some stuff going to Goodwill.
You can pick from that.
I don't think there's anything in there that anybody watching this is going to really want. More interesting, though, than CBC or CGC is the fiasco with CBCS. And I'm going to quote you a little bit, Johnny Future, if you don't mind, because I heard of a few problems with them just recently, really big ones. But Johnny Future turned me on to another one from a show he attended recently, where the guy at the show basically confessed they had the rep that they are drastically behind. Like if you're getting cleaning and pressing and regular grading and you're not paying for the expedited service, you might be waiting 2+ years for your books. And that they're so far that part of it is he said that he had just himself, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Johnny, that they just took an order, one single order from, I guess, a dealer for more than 10,000 books that they got to grade in a single order.
That's ridiculous.
It is. And it's got to be all new stuff, and it's got to be for spec. It's some dealer with a bunch of variants, I guarantee it.
Well, they're coming out with so many variants now, and it's like, do you really need all these variants for one book?
No, you really kind of don't. I mean, one, maybe two, but I mean, you don't need like 12 15, 20 variants for a cover. That's ridiculous. The other big issue, he says, yes, very true. CBCS pressing alone is 2 years now. One guy submitted 10,000 books. Yes. I thought, why should I submit my book to you now hearing this? And that's a good point.
Yeah.
Kaiser said he just bought the NECA 1964 Godzilla. They the one on the blister card they made, or the one in the box? I'm just curious. I like the ones on the blister card better. The other big issue is apparently they've been losing books, and there was
like 350 books they lost
from one order. There was a comic shop, and he was complaining. He's the one that exposed this. I forget who it was, but a video just went out like a week or two ago.
Yeah,
and he said, I have to call it out because I've been researching this, and apparently CBCS loses a lot of orders because I lost all my customers' orders. He's a comic book shop. They lost something like 350
or so books.
354, 356 books from different orders that were all submitted at the same time. So the whole block is gone. And it turns out the problem is they'll outsource. So they picked it up and mailed it to some guy's house to get graded. And he's like, that's ridiculous. That shouldn't be happening. And now I've got to own this because I'm not going to leave my customers hanging. But apparently he's not the only one this has been happening to with them losing books like that. That's scary.
Yeah, because you don't know what kind of books was in that
Yeah.
357. What if you had a first Superman or something?
Yeah, not everybody is so freaking honest. I think about that too when I take a commission, because I do cleaning and pressing for people sometimes, and they might send me a book that's worth a lot, and it's like, if it was anybody else, you don't know, they might be like, oh, look at this Fantastic Four #1 or whatever. Not everybody's got that kind of integrity. You can't just shift stuff around. That's why you do it in a facility when you're a professional grading company.
Yeah. Hank was asking, did I pick up any Batman figures? No, I didn't pick
Oh,
up.
yeah. I think you only did comics that day, didn't
I
you?
did comics. The last show we were at, I think the one you're talking about is the Legions,
Legion.
and they did have some 89 Batman
That's
stuff
right.
there. I did not get any. I only got comic books there. I didn't
Mhm.
get any Batmans. And Robert's here. Hey,
Hey, Robert
Robert.
and Patrick
And
Peluso is
Donald
there.
was say, I just got the new 30 Optimus Prime. It is a figure.
Oh,
Very
okay.
happy I picked him up. Yeah, I got some 30
It's got
stuff, and I
the
like 30.
die-cast parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They move into
Is Robert online? Did we call him out?
yeah.
Okay.
They're moving to the die-cast parts because when I went the Optimus Prime, the Bumblebee that I have, and I think even the Soundwave do not have die-cast parts, and they fall over. But I think it's not the Optimus, the Megatron has the die-cast,
It's
and
all
it
in the
stands
legs.
up. Yeah, it's in the foot part, and it helps it to stand up.
Johnny says he heard that guy's been dealing with CBCS on this for a year, and
Mm.
CBCS hasn't really done anything about it, so he's decided to go public, which I can understand that. You had to call him out.
Yeah, because he
You gotta
said he
call him out.
submitted like 25,000 books, and out of the 25,000, he lost like 300 or so.
Yeah, but I mean,
So,
yeah.
but then you gotta wonder, is it wise to submit that many books at one time?
The most they'll mail back to you in a block, any of them, I think, is 25. So I wouldn't send more than 25 in an order.
Yeah,
Anyways,
break it
you
up
can make
into
another order and another. Oh, okay.
break it up into
Kidding.
weeks. 25, maybe 30 a week.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you got customers and stuff like that,
Yeah,
but
especially if you're a comic shop. But yeah, you'd
yeah,
want to. I think you would want to break those orders up anyways,
yeah.
just so that you can separate it by customer
Yeah,
instead of
separated
bulking
by
it.
customer, and then just I would be scared with that much. They're gonna get confused. They're gonna lose it.
Which is
Things like
also
that.
why, like, because I've been asked about that too when I do the pressing.
Mhm.
Is people are like, "Oh, are you going to submit it?" I'm like, no, I'll clean it and I'll press it and I'm going to mail it right back to you as soon as it's
Mhm.
ready. I'm not going to send it in for you. I don't want it mixed in with my stuff and something goes wrong.
Okay. Kaiser said the Godzilla he has is the one with the window and the flap. You open up the flap. You
Oh,
know the
okay, it's the
box with the
box
flap.
version. Hey.
So we read that. And Master Magnetism is here.
Hello, Master Magnetism.
Did you have fun at the cons? Was eBay surfing. I saw a trade paperback of Alan Moore best stories. I might pick it up. Bought a few paperbacks already. Birth of Venom and the Ghost Rider. Oh, those are some good books.
Yeah, oh,
Waiting for my trade
back
Superman. Okay, hey Jetify. I want to get the TPB of Godzilla
trade paperback.
Oh, okay. But it's for $100. Wow. Looking for a cheap copy.
She got like older titles, like she's looking for like Phantom and Mandrake. And we showed what we picked up at the end of that. She got a few Brave and the Bold titles and stuff like that. Anything that had like Spectre or Dead Man in it, is what she was looking for. I was looking for rescue books, and that's when I got that one, which I got the rolling mostly out of it. It's a real thick book, that Batman 54, which was in the bin, and I was just like, oh my God, there's a Golden Age Batman sitting in here, pre-code Golden Age Batman sitting here. Yes, I want this. And I got it, I cleaned it and I pressed it. The roll was like damn near an inch of roll on the back. It was terrible because I guess somebody must have curled it up. But I got it nice and flat, and the overlap is maybe a 1/6 of an inch now, which is really good. And I think that it's only showing because of a bad cut. But otherwise, that book looks fantastic. I'm really happy with that one.
Master Magnetism said he bought his first Mondo 1/6 scale figure, the X-Men animated series Wolverine.
Oh, that's a funny one. It's the one where he's laying in the box.
Oh,
the
that's
box,
the one?
It looks like a bed and he's holding the picture.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they did a good, that was a cute concept with that. I think they did a good job on that one.
And Johnny, me and David's been saying the same thing about not just CGC, but all of these different comic book companies having more than one facility.
They need a regional office.
Yeah, they need like about 4. You put one on the west, east, somewhere in the middle, in the north and south.
Yeah.
Just so you can, if you're in a certain area, you send your books to this region.
Yeah.
So
or it tells you based on your address, ship here.
Yeah, you ship it there. It'll automatically send it to this location.
Because it's a mistake.
Yeah, that everything goes to one place. That's all your eggs in one basket. And if something happened, like they always in Florida, you know, Florida like to get a hurricane
and
in a minute.
It's really humid. And I'm like, my stuff is sitting. Is it climate controlled or
you don't know? It's just in there.
Where the
it's
hell
in
is
the box
sitting?
in the back.
And they're faking processing. CGC, this is a little trick they're pulling here. This is a whole video by itself, but you know, I don't know if I want to bother.
Yeah, let's talk about it now.
Yeah, we can talk about it now. Basically, they're opening and logging in your order as soon as it comes in. So you're on the book, because before they get your box, you don't know if you got it or not. If they have it or not, all you have is maybe the tracking number says that it was delivered, because it goes to a P.O. box usually. But they're opening and logging it in, but it's still sitting there the same length of time. So it's logged in and they're saying, oh yeah, we're catching up. No, you're not. You're just doing one step first, and then it's still sitting there for months. Unless you get the accelerated tier. And I'm not paying the extra, I can't remember how much it is per book for you to hurry up and grade it at the speed you should be grading it anyways. And while everybody picks on them, PGX can still get you your books in a month without the express tier. And I know people don't like PGX, but you know, we know a guy. He did a bunch of videos on it too. I think, right? Remember, he had that Fantastic Four #1 also.
Yeah.
He'll buy high-end PGX books, bust them open, and without cleaning or pressing them, send them into CGC to get graded, and they come back with the same grade.
Yeah.
So how bad are they really? Aside from the stigma, I don't know.
Stone Sour, thank you. He says he's eating some chili chili cheese Frito with David in his shirt.
Scoops are really good for that, actually. And I used to work for Frito-Lay, and that's where I got the shirt, is because I also worked in the Scoops division. I didn't get trained for Scoops officially, but I got trained afterwards and could run their machinery.
Okay, Robert is talking to Kaiser, asking him if that's that Godzilla is a large book. Did you read the Batman?
Yeah, I read that Batman, and it's funny. And I'm going to take a picture out of it, actually, because I wanted to post it. Because, what is it? The Treasure Hunter story is pretty funny, because it's a guy who's obsessed with collecting things, and Batman scolding him. And I wanted to take a picture of that and put it up. But yeah, so the stories were funny. And then one of the stories, the guy, this man figured out he looked like some other guy. So he tailed him for 2 years and then murdered him and took his place. So he was studying his habits and learning about the guy so he could replace him. And just, he killed the guy, disposed of the body. So here we go. He was a wealthy guy. So, hey, he's retired with a nice big house, got a nice wife, a car, bank account, everything. And he just replaced him, but somehow Batman figured it out, because Batman met him as Bruce Wayne and it didn't feel right to him. So he investigated him as the Batman and figured out what he did. And I was just like, that's pretty clever. That's a clever story too.
But as I'm getting deeper into comic books,
especially the Golden Age stuff, this is crazy stories.
It's not kids stuff. I always thought comic books were for little kids, about
if you buy Looney
superheroes.
Tunes.
But I mean, I never grew up with comic books, so I didn't read any. But I always just thought, because when you saw it on TV, it was always kids that had it. So I thought that it was for kids. But now that I'm reading it, I'm like, no kids reading this. stuff, or if they are, it's probably way above their heads. Some of it,
which is why there was a comics code invented that they agreed to it because they wanted to keep the government out of it. But the government overreach. Oh, we need a comics code because of the graphic nature of these stories and some of the artwork. But you read those stories, they're not kids' books. You know, the Bugs Bunny was the kids' books.
Yeah.
You know, not crime and punishment or horror or whatever.
Yeah, the House of Mysteries and stuff.
There's some really weird graphic stuff in there that is not for kids. And I doubt, you know, it's the same thing with modern television. Can you really blame the book if a kid got a hold of it and read it? No, you can't any more than you can blame a TV show for a kid watching it. The parents are the ones that need to control that.
Yeah. David, why are the prices of vintage G.I. Joe stuff on eBay so up and down right now? Do you think people are selling some stuff because they need money because of the inflation? Yeah.
Well, I think part of that also is we saw a big explosion in prices after the Toys That Made Us featured them. Everything that was featured on the Toys That Made Us blew up like almost immediately after it came out.
Yeah, speculation.
Yeah, speculative buyers, people who buy for investment or out of curiosity.
Yeah.
And I think after, you know, it's been a couple of years now, right? I think that wave has been ridden and the prices are coming back down to where they should be now.
Yeah, Robert, this cat comes down here because she doesn't jump up on nothing. So she is the only one that's allowed to come down here because she stays low. She stays on the floor. The highest she'll go is the chair. She won't jump up on any of the shelves or the tables
or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so, I think I've explained it before. She had a really bad broken leg. And the leg is deformed now because it didn't heal properly. So it's kind of painful for her to jump down from something that's too high. And she knows this, so she won't climb up. And now she likes coming down here because then the other cats can't. And I think she knows that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, I want to go in the basement. She'll sit in front of the door. Meow, meow. Okay.
No, Robert, it's not cold today. Actually, I turned the air on really late, so it's warm. But I got my jacket on because it's gonna get cold. Any future pickups, toy wise or comic wise? Comic wise, I am looking to get some books. Toy wise, right now, no. I still got a bunch of stuff at Big Bad Toy Store that I'm waiting to be released, but I'm not picking up anything.
Yeah. I know at the Joe Fest is coming up, and that's more of a toy show. And there is a guy there who says he's going to bring some Silverhawks for me to look at. And I'm like, because you know it'd be really tempting if I can get a good price. If I can get a good price on that. But man, those Silverhawks and Thundercats sealed on the card are tough. Are really tough. And the guy had some at the last comic show, but he was kind of high.
Yeah.
He was kind of high and they weren't in the best shape.
Yeah.
You know, the corners were banged up pretty good, but you know, they weren't too far off. But I was like, you know, I could hold out for better condition if I'm going to pay that kind of a price.
Hey, John. And Master, the majority of the houses in Georgia area, if you got to be north, like north of a certain point in Georgia, it does have
then it turns into swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The further south you go, past, because they got it South Georgia, Middle Georgia, North Georgia.
Yeah, there's a dividing
line. As long as you're in the Middle Georgia up area, almost every house, nearly every house, has a basement. So yeah, you're good to get a basement. And the price, well, now with the inflation and all of that, house prices are high. It used to be really low. Like in the area we're in, houses used to be cheap, and now with all of this going on, prices are really high. But you can get a nice house in Georgia cheap. You used to, not
by
now.
comparison. And you know, it depends on where you go. Like when I was in Kansas, houses were really cheap. A house mansion prices in Kansas were comparable to like shotgun shacks in Boston.
Yeah.
You know, and there's actually some land too.
Yeah.
You can't reach out of your kitchen window and into the kitchen window of your neighbor and help them do the dishes, you know.
Yeah, and we like the rural area, and where
Yeah,
we are,
it's
it
like
was,
semi-rural.
yeah, it's semi-rural, but then they keep building up stuff, and they just cleared some land,
Yeah,
and now they're gonna put some stuff, and then the next thing you know, you can't burn trash in your yard, and you can't have your chickens and all that stuff, and then it's time to move. So,
yeah. And if we miss your comment, we're just trying to keep up.
yeah.
What was
Let
the
me
what was the
see.
I think it's
Oh, Robert is saying he's trying to get some old Silver Age stuff.
mhm.
I want that Alan Moore best stories, and want to pick up Flash, Two Worlds, and Superman. Yeah, the Silver Age stuff. I'm finding when you go to the show, a lot of Silver Age stuff is in the $1 and $2 bins, and then you can find
Yeah,
a lot of them for under ten
a lot of
dollars.
stuff gets overlooked either
Yeah,
because of condition or because it's not a hot key, you know. So you can find a lot of really interesting stuff and even some stuff in good condition that was overlooked
yeah.
by the seller. They're like, oh crap, that was down there.
Yeah, because
It
that
happens.
happened at the last show we were at. This guy, the vendor had a Terminator, not a
It
Terminator,
was
Predator.
Predator number one, the blue and red cover.
Mm-hmm. And he had it in a dollar bin, and this guy found it, and all he
It's
made
like,
a
where did
fuss,
you get
but
this?
he sold it
Yeah,
because it was in the dollar bin, and
yeah,
he saw the guy pull it out of the
yeah,
dollar bin. But boy, he went on for like 20 minutes
yeah.
about how he overlooked it, and I gotta sell it
He
because
was upset.
he was
If he
upset.
didn't sell it though, I bet you no one else at that show would have
Nope.
gone to that table because he'd be like, "Wow, what a jerk."
Plus,
But
the table was full.
mhm.
So if he had made like a big fuss and got nasty about it, it was a small enough show. It would have went through like wildfire, and everybody would have gave him a hard time because it was in the dollar bin. It wasn't like mistakenly. It was in a paper and everything.
Mhm.
So I mean the plastic bag. So um. I'd rather live in Georgia than New York. Yeah, I don't even want to go to New York. I've been in New York two
No.
times in my life and I hate it every second. And I don't know how people live like that. And that cramped and all that noise.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just awful.
Well, I grew up in Boston, and I'll tell you,
Mm-mm.
it's like the even the water. I mean, you run the bath water, and your eyes will water because of how much bleach is in it.
Even around here, they're
Yeah.
starting to put a lot of bleach, and it's too
Well, chlorine, but yeah,
chlorine, whatever. It's starting to get a little too much people around this area, and it's not a lot of people in it. Well, so it says on the little town website. It's not that many people. I think like 30,000 people, but it seemed like it's a million when you're trying to drive around, go to Walmart and stuff.
yeah.
We need to be out some more. I
Kaiser
read
said,
adult comics as
"Okay,
go
that's
ahead.
Hank." No, but okay. I read adult comics as a kid and watched movies that I was probably too young for, and I turned out just fine. Yeah, we
Yeah,
need parents to teach kids to understand
yeah,
reality from fantasy. Yeah, like my parents taught me, and that's true.
yeah.
And if
And
there's
Gilgamesh.
something that's inappropriate, then don't let them see it.
Mm-hmm.
But let them play or don't play. And we were talking about that today because something came up when I said, when I was my youngest, I used to let him wear little costumes and play
Oh
around,
Lord.
but he there was a time and a place for it. And it's like, you know what? Okay, we're gonna take the Batman suit off because we got to go do this. Okay, and he knew, and he didn't
Yeah.
really think he was Batman.
It's this girl in Australia. She thinks she a cat. So the school let her come to school dressed as a cat, acting like a feline. She
And she
doesn't
doesn't have,
talk.
yeah, she don't have to speak or nothing.
No,
Sit
she could
there
just act like a
licking her
cat.
hand all day.
And it's like, no, your mama needed to knock you down and tell you take that mess off because we ain't got time to be playing your little games. You going to school embarrassing the whole family,
Yeah, right.
looking crazy in some cat outfit, licking yourself and doing all that. Nobody got time for that. Anyway,
What was the
um,
other one?
Gilgamesh was saying something.
What's
Oh,
he saying?
actually, the first comic series I ever really got into was Spawn,
Mm-hmm.
and I was 12. So I
Yeah.
didn't start with kids' books. Yeah.
Yeah, and most of them aren't. I mean, which ones are kids' books and which are not, and you can tell by the nature of the story, by the dialogue.
Yeah.
They really always have kind of targeted the adult audience with a few exceptions. Your Dell Giants or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Kaiser would hate to be a Legends collector. Um,
Yeah, he says all these crappy phoned in on superhero like proportions. Oh, but the funny thing too is now what we've been speculating about with the Legends with Hasbro with the new boxes is already happening, because I've been seeing on the feeds on.
Hey, Coffee Madness.
Oh, Coffee Madness made it. In the feeds on Facebook is people getting their Legends orders, I guess buying them online from Walmart and from Target and stuff like this, and they're opening them up, and there's different figures in there. Not just not just the Build-A-Figure missing, but the figures are gone. Like this one guy opened it up, and there's these 2 old crappy wrestling figures that are all beat up inside. And the interior, by the way, is also all cardboard. It's just like a cardboard frame that slides into that box. And he's like, WTF Hasbro, seriously? And what are you gonna do? You'll send it back, and they'll just send it to someone else.
Yeah,
because they don't know any different.
And
so it's already happening.
Johnny Future was saying something about using EGS or EGC, whatever, and that's the company I'm going to use. To
EGS.
Yeah, that's the company I'm going to use to
They're
grade my books. Yeah, I'm not going to get a lot of my books graded. I like them raw. I like them. I like to look at it and feel it and open it up and read it whenever I get ready. But it's a few that I want graded just to encapsulate it so that it won't get ruined.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get all of them done. But the ones that I do get done, they're going to EGC. I'm not messing around with CBS and CGC because it's too much.
I don't want to use CBCS at all. I do use CGC.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to talk to the guy from EGS, because that's like the newest one. They've only been around for 2 or 3 years, but they've got some interesting things going on, including that graders notes provided on every book.
Yeah, and they send you the graders notes.
Yeah, you get a note attached to every book. It's not attached to it, but you can take it off.
It's a card.
But it's a card that comes with it. Even a 9.8 is going to have graders notes.
Yeah, because something's wrong with it that it didn't get a 10.
Yeah.
So you want to know.
So he's going to do that. You can pick instead of like a little picture, because I actually don't like this on CGC books where you can put like Spider-Man's face in the corner or something like that. I don't really care if it's there or not. But what he does is you can pick the entire color scheme for the nameplate.
Yeah.
So it'll match the color of the cover or blend with the color of the cover if you want it to. There's a few things they're doing that are kind of interesting, and I wanted to talk to that guy, and maybe I can set something up where I can do like an interview on the channel. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah. If someone tells me I can't have my chickens, we're going to have a problem. Yeah, because like I said, this area that we're in, it's considered the unincorporated area, semi-rural. And right now, you can have goats and chickens. The people around here got horses and cows and all kinds of stuff. But now, across from the Target, all around the Target, they got it all. And they building up buildings.
Yeah, they wiped out all the woods there. There was a whole.
It was a nice little some trees and stuff, but anywhere is a plot of grass, they chop it down and put a building up. It's like, really, do we need any more shopping centers? And then you got all these shopping centers that are empty.
Yeah.
Why not renovate them?
Tore down Paradise and put up a parking lot, right?
Yeah, and it's like. And once they do that, they raise your taxes, which they already did. But that's not what this channel is about. So I'm not going to go on, because I'll go on for hours.
Yeah, I know. It's just frustrating.
Yeah,
you all understand what we're talking about there. But
okay, let's see. Johnny says, I remember 7-Eleven sold comics, Mad, Cracked, and other magazines.
Yeah.
Now they don't sell. They don't sell any. Gas stations used to be the place to go for magazines. They don't sell any now.
Well, magazines are fading out.
That's true.
It's one of those disappearing things where they're real expensive now. They used to be cheap, even by like 70s, 80s standards. They were cheap back in the day, and now they're real expensive. They don't print as many.
Yeah,
you got to go to a bookstore to find them. Things have changed.
David, you really shocked me about how much is to buy a table at these conventions. Yikes.
It depends on where you go. Like I said, retro toy swap is $15.
Yeah, and you get a parking
you
space.
get 2 parking spaces worth of space. But then you go to, as the shows get bigger, and you get to like something as big as SDCC.
And
I think Joe Fest
is
like
$300. I think.
Yeah, it's depending upon your space, 300 to 400, and then you get to something like SDCC, you're gonna pay like 1,200, 1,500 for a table. Booth prices don't even ask. it depends on how big the show is.
Yeah, Kaiser Colt and Alex Jones there. I've been to New York, Boston, Chicago, and most other big cities in the country. That's why I live in the country now. Yeah, we lived in the Chicago area, and God, I hated that. I was happy the day we packed our stuff up and left. Absolutely agreed. Yeah, talking about that and that crazy girl, but that's her parents' fault for letting her go out the house looking crazy.
That could have been handled. Oh, Thor Anacostia is here.
And my friend Wildy, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Hi guys, raccoon eyes.
I recognize that.
What?
That's a phrase from a movie. Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. Dogs and cats living together. Yeah. Am I right? Bill Murray said that in Ghostbusters when they were having the argument with the mayor.
Let's see. Wait, somebody said something.
Oh, and Fabio is here.
Oh, hey, Fabio. EGC President Tony somebody. I hope you can get him to talk to your show. Yeah, on your show. Yeah, we saw some videos with him.
I'm going to try. But yeah, I'll reach out to him because I'd like for him to do some of my autographs. I've got a stack of autograph books like this.
Yeah,
that are really nice, and I would like to use them for it because all the grading services except GC will verify another company's autographs for you, because a lot of them are like Dynamic Forces autographs and things like that they have certifications, but CGC won't do it, which I think is a mistake. They should, they're looking for ways to make more money. That's one of the ways they could do it, but what do I know? But yeah, I was going to reach out to him, and maybe I could arrange something.
Kaiser said you need a channel for taxes and toys.
Taxes? Oh God, no.
Fabio says thank you for all of those conventions that you dragged me out to.
Oh, I drag you out too, huh? It says that? You drag me.
What do both of you think is the reason why most superhero fans are films are based on the same old characters? We've been talking about that for the longest, over and over again.
Because they want to go with what they know works.
Yeah, but if you read the books, there's always that one character that kind of hangs in the background that you like and you would like to know more about. Yeah. Or it's like, okay, like we saw that one episode, that one Batman movie, and it had like Copperhead in it, and it had
animated.
Yeah, the animated Batman, but it had Copperhead and like 5 other villains. I know Solomon Grundy was in there. The rhino was it? No, he wasn't a rhinoceros, but it was something. But none of those characters are in movies.
Except for Solomon. They're not in movies. They're
not in movies, but you will see Solomon around.
There were some solid Silver Age characters that most modern people probably don't even know who they are. It's like Copperhead.
Yeah,
I mean, I know who Copperhead is, but your average comic collector probably doesn't know who Copperhead is unless they were into Silver Age stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool. They picked out some characters that you don't normally see. I like that. I mean, tell me that you couldn't make a film out of The Question. The Question, I think, would be an interesting character. Some of you might know who that is. It can be done, or they can pull out characters that are interesting, or they can bring in characters while they're always looking for. And I was wondering about this too, and it's probably going to come up. I got another segment that I'm getting ready to do, which is like recommending keys.
Yeah, the comic
keys that aren't like break the bank keys that everybody's after, that are really solid keys. And one of them is the mighty Isis. And I'm like, why aren't we seeing Isis anymore? You might remember Isis from Saturday morning television from like the 70s. They on CBS, they had the mighty Isis, and then they had Shazam riding around in a van with an old man. but a live action show. And it had a comic based on that show, but it actually has deeper roots that go into Silver Age DC comics. And her first appearance is in Shazam 25, the DC Shazam 25, not the old Golden Age.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that significant? Because the Mighty Isis is Black Adam's wife. You want to shoehorn a strong female character into your film? You've already got one in your canon. If any of your writers read any of the old books,
they don't read it. And the girl from
that's why you want a fan doing it. That's why The Mandalorian was good.
Well, even if you can't get the fan to write it, you got that one guy, you see him at every comic shop. Because when we went to the comic shop, that guy was there. It was two of them. He's at every comic show. He will sit there for 8 hours and tell you about one book, every character, the word on every page, who wrote it, who colored, who did the ink, who did the writing. He knows everything. That's the guy. You just pay him a little bit of dollars, give him some books. Hey, give me some ideas. And he'll be glad to sit there and talk to you and give you ideas. And you bounce it off. Oh, no, well, in book number 58, he wore a black and white outfit. The green and blue outfit didn't come until book 63. He will tie everything in for you. You never have to read the book because that guy knows everything.
And I brought it up before. At least if you didn't know, once upon a time, they had the integrity to go back and find out. Like the guy who did Wrath of Khan, the head writer from Wrath of Khan, he never watched the original Star Trek. So when they approached him, he was like, well, gee, let me see what I can do. And binge watched the entire original 60s series to get a feel of it and to see if there was anything he could cherry pick out of there. And he really liked Khan. He was like, you know what? I could bring that character back and I bet it could be really good. And it's their best film. It's the best film they ever did, even to this day. If you care enough, to send the very best, you get where's that from? Who knows?
I remember that.
Thor and Acosta wants to know if we saw the new Black series. The price is $39.99, 33 to 35. Yeah, the prices are going up. The prices are even those carded Toy Biz retro are up to around $30 now. Ooh, we got some
LPH, you ran all you I try not to rant about political style stuff on this channel.
Yeah, we don't want to do that here.
Channel because this is an escape, a getaway for us and for you. And you're bombarded all day, every day. You don't want to hear that. But sometimes it just hits you. David is more cost effective to restore vintage Joe vehicles or buy them complete. I've been wanting to add more vehicles to my collection. Your thoughts?
You're probably better off getting it complete, which is why when I got the Terradrome, I kept looking for one complete because the bit by bit and certain pieces harder than others because they're actually kind of fragile. The old Joe toys. I'm surprised they lasted as long as they have. But replacing those parts will kill you. And you could see that there could even be like I've got my battle wagon down there, which is the deluxe reading battle wagon from 1961. I've shown it before. It's missing the little radar dish. I've got the stem. I've got the antenna that goes on top of it, that little dish. I'll probably spend $100 for that dish. But if I got it complete, it would be a negligible price. But that was such a great deal for me. Plus it had the box and the instructions and everything. I was like, okay, maybe I'll find the dish one day. Sure I will. But yeah, you're better off finding one complete negotiating than trying to piecemeal it. Piecemealing it gets real expensive, which is why a lot of dealers strip stuff apart and sell it piece by piece. They do it on purpose, and I hate that they do that.
Yeah.
Also, try finding it without the box. If you don't care about the box or you don't want the box, you just want a loose piece. Like I said, if I get the Terradrome, I don't care if it's got the box or not, because you could have the shittiest torn to bit box with parts missing and water damage and mold on it, and they will try to hike that price up so high that it'll make your nose bleed. Remember that one guy? It was the shark. It was the shark with deep six, and it was complete in there. And I was like, if I got a shark complete with deep six, it should be worth X. But he wants almost an extra $100 more because it had the box, and it was missing like I think 20% of the back cover was gone. It was torn off, and I'm like, I don't. How about if you just sell it to me without the box? How much would that be? Wouldn't do it. It's like sell a box to somebody else. He knows he won't be able to.
Yeah,
but if you
that box was crap.
You only care about loose. Get it without the box, and I would try to find it as complete as possible.
Unknown characters don't have a solid foundation, and it's too risky for Hollywood to make a solo movie about them. That's why they include them with major character movies to see if they will be popular.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But the issue is, okay, let's take Batman for instance. They keep remaking Batman over and over, and you have a lot of Batman villains and other people in Batman. It's like, okay, you want to make another Batman movie, fine. Don't go back to the beginning. Everybody already knows how Bruce Wayne came about. His parents got killed in the alley. Nobody knows who killed them, blah, blah, blah. Just start like they did with the Batman movie. He's already Batman.
Yeah.
Now we're going to just move on.
Actually.
Yeah. You bring in one of his villains or something, or even just a story from one of the comics, and just tell that in a movie form.
And they got really interesting villains that never get used.
Yeah.
Where's the KG Beast? The KG Beast would be really interesting, I think.
They don't have to have a standalone movie. Just put them in a movie and quit telling us the same thing. Okay, I like the Riddler in the new Batman movie. Okay, but how many Riddlers we had? We had the Riddler with not the 89 Batman, but in that era, that 90, Val Kilmer had the Riddler.
Yeah.
So we already had the Riddler. Right. We had the Joker a bunch of times. So get another villain. They got a plethora of villains that they can and keep on going. We don't need to have the same story 100 times.
Master wants to know if I'm getting the Hot Toys Back to the Future figures. And yeah,
David
I can't afford that. I got that Nightmare Batman and Superman 2-pack. I forgot I even ordered it, and now I'm like, should I keep it? But what are you going to do? Lee Balmforth has joined us. Thanks for joining us.
I wanted Mezco of David. How much for the license?
I don't know. It's going to be expensive.
I love ISIS. I want a movie of Detective Chimp come on DC. I don't know Detective Chimp. I don't know I could easily make a solo movie
with Man-Bat. Yeah, if they had a good writer. Man-Bat is one that they haven't put on film either that might work.
Yeah, Man-Bat was a good one, and he has a nice story, the background to that. And we saw one, I don't know if he's actually a villain, I forgot to look it up, but we were just watching the episode of Batman the animated series, and his villain that time was called Lockdown.
Yeah, Lockdown.
That was
he's kind of,
that was a good character.
If you've never seen him, he's kind of like Punisher 2099. But yeah, that was interesting. They could have done something with him.
Yeah, they needed to go deeper into his character, into his background, and keep him going, because he was a fun character and he wanted to work with Batman, but he wanted to kill people. Batman was like,
or at least punish them badly. That's why I said Punisher 2099, because he would keep people hostage.
Display name.
Screw Your Feelings is here.
Yeah.
Still waiting for a true Nightfall movie, or at least an animated one. DC does better with the animated films often.
Yeah.
Sergeant Rock, display name says Sergeant Rock. And where was that? Somebody was naming a few. Yeah, Gilgamesh. Where are you, Gilgamesh? Yeah,
you went up too far.
I went up too far. Well, we're just trying to keep up here. Yeah, he agreed. The Question,
Spectre was good. Yeah.
Frankenstein, Ragman, the Creeper. Ragman would be really interesting because he's a bizarre character. Ragman is a really interesting because it's all rags. He's a bum. It's all tattered like outfit, but each strip of cloth that's sewn into it, it contains the soul of someone that he killed, an evil person he killed, and he uses their power through the outfit. It's weird.
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, that'd be, I mean, even as an animated short.
I'm going to read the Spectre comics because in one of the Batman animated they had like a clip of the Spectre and it was interesting. So I'm gonna get that omnibus to read. I just finished reading the Bronze Age Swamp Thing, so now I'm on the Alan Moore. So I'm starting the Alan Moore version of Swamp Thing. So,
which is arguably the most popular of the writing.
Yeah, that's what everybody says, that he because he picks up where the Bronze Age left off and his writing style was really good. He's a really good comic book writer. So I've never read any of his stuff before, but I'll read this for the first time and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Master wants Grundy in a Batman movie. Which Grundy? Classic Grundy? No, Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday.
He was in Long Halloween.
Yeah. And he was like the traditional like zombie, I can't remember who the hell I am character. But then they had then there's the Super Friends version where he sounds like he's about to go bull riding. Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, he talks a lot in that.
Solomon Grundy don't like your plan. It's like Solomon Grundy wants some beef jerky. Super Friends is ridiculous, but it's a fun show. It's a fun show.
Robert says, I'm looking for the issue where the Thing gets married to Alicia and Puppet Master controls the Hulk on the one day he becomes human on his honeymoon. Okay.
Oh, the Thing finally beats the Hulk. Well, how else is he going to get it? You need to hurry up. Well, they touched on that briefly in the attempt at a Fantastic Four movie because they haven't gotten a live action Fantastic Four right yet. But with the Johnny Storm, when not Chris Helmsworth, the guy who plays Captain America was Johnny Storm in that film. Okay. And he was like, how do you and your girlfriend do it? I mean, rock slide? Because he's like a rocks, and he was like, that's none of your business.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy proved lesser known characters can make good movies.
Yes.
You just need good people working on it. Yeah.
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 And keep it not too much humor. Don't make it because I think that's what people are saying killed Love and Thunder was they try to put humor in it throughout, and it's too much. A couple of lighthearted moments, and maybe a specific character for it, which was Drax. Some of the things that Drax said, like when they said, I think it's going over his head, and he was like, nothing can go over my head. I will reach up and catch it. And it's like, okay, Drax. But who is traditionally a dopey character anyway. But it can be done. And then the mixture of the vintage music added a lot to it in Guardians 1 and 2. I think that's one of the main reasons a lot of people like that so much. But yeah, it can be done. Yeah. It really can.
Johnny says it took decades to get a solo Joker movie. Wish they would do a Luthor movie.
Luthor without Superman?
Yeah. Well, you can do like origin, I guess.
They have a hard time even getting an actor to do Luthor right outside of Gene Hackman. Which I like Gene Hackman's Luthor. He was although they did too much with it. The first two of the Christopher Reeve Supermans were good, but they were written together. It was supposed to be a single film, but it was too long. So they said, okay, you know what? We'll find a stopping point and we'll cut it. We'll make it 2 movies. So that's why those 2 are good. The other 2 are stupid.
Yeah.
It was too much. I mean, you got Superman 3 with what the heck is that guy's name? Oh, careful. With what was that comedian's name in Superman 3? Everybody knows. I can't remember his name.
The black guy?
Yeah, he's usually with Gene Wilder.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. That's right. Thank you. Johnny Future said that. Richard Pryor. It was too much, and it wasn't funny. It was just too much.
Oh, yeah.
And it had potential to be good because it was about a supercomputer trying to take over the world.
Oh, okay.
But then, and then the last one with I can't even remember the name of the character, and my kid must have watched that 50 times. But the last couple of films were just so badly done. But I like Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor.
Raccoon I said a Clayface movie would be good. The CGI will be there. Yeah, maybe Clayface in a movie. His background story was
sad
pretty sad.
Although if you notice, most of Batman's villains are either depressed or had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah,
flat out a nervous breakdown, and they're just crazy.
Yeah.
So that's most of his adversaries.
They need to use a Scarecrow as a villain again, but this time do it right. He was in a movie, Scarecrow.
Yeah, you didn't see the first. That's because she saw with I'm just drawing blanks today.
Oh gosh.
The second Batman.
The second Batman had
see, it's contagious.
I know. Catwoman.
Oh no, I'm talking about like with the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker.
With, you mean Christian Bale.
The Scarecrow was in it. The first of the three films, you didn't see the first one.
Oh, okay.
You saw the second and the third one.
Oh,
with Crane. But the first one had the Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but you never saw it. It's good though. She saw the second and the third one.
There's a comic of Batman versus Punisher. Punisher wants to kill the
crossover,
Joker.
Yeah.
Batman says no, end up fighting, and Batman beats the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Punisher says you and that clown deserve each other, because I think they do like each other, and they hinted that in the animated versions, Batman doesn't want anything to happen to the Joker, and the Joker doesn't want anything to happen to Batman. And Joker has saved Batman a couple of times, like one time in an animated series where somebody thought they killed Batman, and Joker went crazy and went to find him and was like, no, you can't do that, and all of that.
He was like, who am I going to play with now?
Yeah.
Nobody else can keep up.
Yeah.
And they alluded to that in the Heath Ledger Joker as well, because the guy was going to reveal his identity. He figured out who Batman was, and he's going to go on TV, and he says, no, that can't happen. He was like, and he offered a reward for whoever would kill him first to make him not tell, because Batman was the natural antigen.
Yeah.
And he saw that. He saw that in their story and their plot. And
they alluded to that in Batman Long Halloween too, when Batman caught Joker at the end, and he was basically saying that he liked him, but he's too afraid to trust him. No, it wasn't Long Halloween. Sorry, that was the Killing Joke in the Killing Joke animated series. That's what I meant. Let's see, where are we? We're at Richard Pryor. I don't know. I love the Smallville Luthor. He was awesome as young Luthor. Forgot the name.
I could never get into that. I know people say it's good, but I could never get into it.
Yes, Clayface would be nice. David looks like Dr. Claw with Kitty.
Oh yeah.
You
never saw Dr. Claw?
No, you just saw his hand.
You saw the back profile on the one arm with the steel glove.
Oh yeah, did we ever give a remembrance of Olivia Newton-John? No, I think she was the only person that's died since the last. Well, I mean, plenty of people died, but major. No, because we haven't been on since then. Yeah, Olivia Newton-John had died. Let's Get Physical. Didn't she sing Physical?
I don't remember. I know that
she was in Xanadu. That dumb movie.
That's a fun movie. It's just a silly 70s musical. I like Xanadu.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Batman Begins.
Raccoon Eyes. It says the Spectre wanted to kill the Joker, and Batman ended up saving the Joker. That was in the comics. I don't know how Batman can fight Spectre.
How can the Batman fight Punisher? I don't understand
I think the
that.
Spectre is out of his league.
You know, the Batman just real smart and sly. He got tricks. That's how he survives.
They had him beat Judge Dredd. There was a crossover with Judge Dredd.
Mm.
Judge Dredd sentenced him to 23 years for assaulting an officer.
How about superhero movies with characters as such: Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Cyborg, Green Arrow, El Dorado, Apache Chief, Samurai, Black Manta, Scarecrow, Toyman, Sinestro, and Brainiac. Those would be.
Man.
Toyman is kind of lame and super friendly.
Well, you saw how they had to make him into a maniac in that in the animated one in order to make him interesting. But and it doesn't make any sense. These guys have everything.
Mhm.
The Legion of Doom and Super Friends has freaking everything. Toyman had a whole planet. He had his own planet,
Yeah,
with toys on it, and he wants to rob banks. What are you doing?
But they all got these like abilities,
Mhm.
and all they want to do is rob banks and take over the earth and steal gold and plutonium.
Or they take
and
over
stuff
the
like
earth
that.
and they make everybody bring them their cash.
Yeah.
And then or they go backward or forward in time all the time. And then they're like and then the Super Friends are like, we'll have to go back in time and stop Lex Luthor and the Legion of Doom. We'll each get there in our own way, and then everybody disappears. It's like, where did you go? How did you do that? What the hell? I keep saying Black Lightning. It's not Black Lightning. What's that guy's name?
But Black Adam?
Not Black Adam, from Super Friends. The
I
guy
don't know.
the guy with the lightning bolts. He just flashes and he's gone. And he's
Oh,
back in time.
I don't know what his name is.
I keep wanting to call him Black Lightning, but he's not Black Lightning.
No.
And Flash runs and he's in the past, and then Superman flies and he's in the past, and then Batman and Robin get in the jet and they're in the past. It's like you have a time jet. I mean, what the hell did you do?
Static Shock.
Is it Static Shock?
Yeah.
That show is hilarious, but it's well drawn.
Yeah.
And it is funny.
It is better than any cartoon series out there now.
It really is. But Black Vulcan, thank you, John.
Oh, Black Vulcan.
Black, that's it.
So
I always
who's
forget.
Static Shock?
And why is he Black Vulcan? Because Vulcan is a reference to volcanoes. So
maybe he's from the land of volcanoes.
Static Shock is a different black character from DC.
Oh, okay.
I just thought of it. But yeah, Vulcan is a reference to volcanoes, or unless they mean like a vulcanizer, like a dynamo. Maybe that's the tie-in.
You thinking way too deep for these comics.
Well, what are you gonna do? Gilgamesh said Black Vulcan also. Yeah, thanks guys.
Are you going to get all the heralds with the HasLab Galactus?
Yeah, it all comes as a package.
Okay.
It's the way the tiers drop in. Once a tier is unlocked, you get it as a bonus. You don't have to buy anything extra. So it will be complete if and when it ever comes.
Judge Dredd was awesome. Only guy more alpha than Batman. He made Batman look like a 2-bit though. It was hilarious. I think they should do comic movies that aren't superhero. I don't know, Eddingen or Sandman here. Or just something with a good story.
Etrigan, the demon. The demon, yeah.
Or Sandman, or just something. They did it, but they got the Sandman TV show.
I don't know if it's any good or not, but I know that they've got a TV show going out. I've heard there's some confusion about it, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I don't know.
But The Walking Dead is not a superhero.
Yeah,
and that's a comic. And they got that one about them paperclip girls on Amazon.
Yeah,
that's a comic book.
Yeah, I think that the value of their comics dropped about 80% when that show came out. That goes to show you how well they pulled that off. Because people were, we watched some of the unboxings with the dealers and their spec books that are coming in. Oh, this came in as a 9.8, but I submitted it like a year ago, and it's kind of pointless now because Paper Girls, the books are almost worthless at this point because the show's not doing well. And even when they get a 9.8, they still cry. It's kind of funny.
Well, you shouldn't do speculative buys like that. I mean, you can't tell, oh, yeah, this is going to be a hot book because they say Netflix
the
is going
show's
to
coming out.
make a show or Amazon's about to make a show or something like that. But
Yeah.
nowadays, those shows ain't good and people already know that the show's not good.
But they're still trying to tap into it. Like She-Hulk,
Yeah.
I bet you the prices spiked before She-Hulk
Yeah,
came out.
and now it
that
tanked.
now that it's out and a lot of people aren't liking it,
It's probably less than what it was
it might be.
before. Even the Silver Age.
That actually happened to Miss Marvel. First appearances of Miss Marvel went below where it was after Miss Marvel
after
came
the
out.
little girl one or the movie?
That's Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, Captain Marvel is the movie. Miss Marvel is the little girl.
I have a couple of copies of Miss Marvel, but you know, I don't have them because I got them because they're Silver Age classics, not because I was like, oh, price is going to go up because of this show. No, it isn't. The show's going to suck. I knew that before it even came out, but that's what happens. And
I'm only getting 2 modern books. I'm getting the Batman One Bad Day. I am getting those. That's a one shot, but it's 6 books. And then the guy that played Riddler in the Batman movie, he has a Riddler book, 6 series, 6-book series. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about getting that, but then I'm kind of scared to read it because you look at these books and there's no words in there. It's all pictures.
Yeah.
And the
thing is, though, it's like, especially reading gold and silver, bronze, even copper age stuff, there's a ton of dialogue. But the closer you get to where we are, the less and less dialogue you see in the comics. It's more heavily emphasized on the artwork, if it has good artwork.
Yeah. Thor says in the Superman animated series, that version of the Toy Man wanted revenge on the gangster Mayhem.
Okay. Manaheim. Okay.
Yes, I would go to Martian Manhunter movie. That's from the Justice League, the Martian Manhunter, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's Eric Reese.
Hey, Eric.
Us. Johnny says that he thinks Brainiac would be good. Brainiac could stand alone without Superman, he says.
Yeah, we just saw him in the Brainiac Superman animated movie, the Brainiac version. Yeah. He was good in that. That was a good, but I didn't like how they did Lex Luthor in that movie.
No, he was like
comic relief.
Yeah, comedy relief Lex Luthor with a lot of bad puns and a nasally voice. It was weird.
I want to see a DC movie of Detective Chimp. You said that already. And a movie of Wannabes. That guy is weird. His powers are mixing a goat with a chicken. Bad guys are like, what?
Okay.
No, I mean, there's the 2-pack of the Fallen and Terax 2-pack. And Firebird also.
Oh, no. Extra Marvel Legends stuff? No.
Okay.
I don't want to get deep into Marvel Legends. I got a bunch of Build-A-Figures, but I don't want to I don't want to start collecting Marvel Legends.
Okay.
I don't want to go down that road. I try to stay away from a lot of the modern stuff. You know, I get sucked in here and there, but then I try to back off because it's you know.
Is McFarlane doing comics? I know they have comics with some of their books, their new book.
I don't know if he's still writing comics. I don't know if he's still doing that.
But, hey, Zombie.
Oh.
Did I miss the giveaway?
Yeah, it's too late. Oh, Lobo. Probably because they can't cast it right. I always thought that, and I got in trouble on Facebook for saying this. Johnny Future, I think I told Johnny Future about this. That somebody said that Jason Momoa would be a good Lobo. And then I replied to their comment and I said on Facebook that that I think the Macho Man would be a better choice. You know, Macho Man Randy Savage. And I got a warning from Facebook for saying that because the term Macho Man might be offensive to some people. I'm like, what the hell? Like, you know who that is. Macho Man might be offensive. Oh, you know, okay. Is that what our world has come to? But I always thought that if Randy Savage would have been a great Lobo. Of course, he can't do it now.
Who? Oh, Randy Savage.
Unfortunately. But I think he would have made a great Lobo character. But that'd be tough to cast to get to pull off the personality that would be required. I think.
David, have you seen the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Edition? It's at Target, and they're also Mr. T figures, and it's a WrestleMania throwback.
I haven't seen them in Target, but I have seen them. This is the one where they're wearing
where
the
they're going
shirts?
where they're face to face.
No, that's based on the that's based on the wrestling movie with Zeus. That's Zeus.
Oh yeah.
But he's talking about the Hulkamania when they were in WrestleMania 3 and they had the red and yellow shirts. But I've seen the figures, but I haven't seen them in stores. Oh, Plastic Man movie? It would have to be a comedy. But
I get a good kick when a book I bought new off the shelf, off the rack, for just a few bucks makes a speculation. Folks go mad. Yeah. Could you buy these books and people think it's going to do something?
Yeah, that's why there's constant #1 issues, and it seems like everything that comes out's got a new appearance of somebody that they're introducing for the first time. Like they don't know that that's going to attract people to buy books that they wouldn't otherwise purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just write the story.
It's that artificial demand model in comics is what it is.
McFarlane is doing a 4 monthly Spawn books now. 4 a month.
Okay, is he actually writing them though?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Robert saying that Mezco, Spidey, and Fantastic Four look tempting. Yeah, I was thinking about the Fantastic Four myself because they would go great with that Legends Galactus. But at the same time, every time Mezco does one of their big packages or really high-end priced packages like the Ghostbusters set and like their Gladiator Hulk and stuff, it turns out to suck.
Oh yeah,
it's not good. And I'm like, do I want to invest that kind of money? Because it's not cheap at all for that 4-pack. Do I want to invest that much and then get it? And I'm like, this is it. I don't want to be there.
Do you think
Macho Man got me in trouble saying that? I got a warning strike from Facebook, and that my comment would be blocked so that only I can see it, and to not do it again.
Yeah.
And if I think they're wrong, to let them know, but that equates to my checking a box and not explaining anything, so I can't even tell them why they might have been wrong.
Ridley Cinema, hey, sorry, I've been forever since I've joined in the live stream. I stopped physical therapy recently, so I now have to sustain my condition completely on my own, figuring out a daily workout routine.
Okay, well, hang in there.
Yeah, hang in there.
Going.
And there's a lot of good stuff on YouTube too. Did Plastic Man come out first or Mr. Fantastic?
I think Mr. Fantastic might have been first, right?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. And it's not the first time. I mean, there's been other stretchy characters. There's a handful of them. But I don't know if any of them go back past the Silver Age.
Johnny says Facebook banned Village People for singing Macho Man. They probably would.
Not them.
If you just played the music and you had a bunch of men dancing to it, they probably would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll ban you and be like, you can't be doing that here.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Jim Carrey would be awesome as Plastic Man. Probably. Well, I don't know who Plastic Man is, but I don't know because Jim Carrey is like a little too old now. I don't think
Jim Carrey's gotten weirder and weirder as he's gotten older. I don't know if he needs to be doing anything else, but if he was going to do that, he should have done it in the 90s.
Yeah, when he was doing like the Mask.
Yeah, the Mask.
Yeah, didn't he play the Riddler?
Yeah, you said that earlier.
Oh, did
Val Kilmer.
Yeah, Val Kilmer.
He played the Riddler, and then Tommy Lee Jones was Two-Face instead of Billy D. Williams, because Billy D. Williams was supposed to be the Riddler.
Not the Riddler, Two-Face.
Zomb wants Captain Carrot and his Zoo Crew. Yeah, I got that comic.
That's a book?
Yeah, I got that comic a couple of shows back.
No, okay.
At the one in Tennessee. The Captain Carrot and his Zoo Crew.
McFarlane is writing with Jim Lee art.
Oh, okay.
Oh, forgot Plastic Man or Mr. Fantastic. Let's just go all out. Stretch Armstrong in a movie.
Yeah.
With all of the CGI, they probably could do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, they pulled off Mr. Fantastic. The look of it in the last Fantastic Four films, it's just the story writing wasn't very good. Eric wants to know my favorite Mezcos. I like the Conan. I like the Nosferatu. I like the Popeyes. I like the Ronin Wolverine. I think we're really well done. And I like the Space Ghost and Red Sun Superman.
Hey, Mike. Hey, just wanted to say, glad to see you guys live. I watch your videos a lot and love the updates on figures coming out. You guys collect a lot of what I love and collect. Thanks for being real.
Oh, you're welcome. You. We appreciate that. And we're glad that you get something out of the content as we reach out here to the collecting communities.
Jim Carrey did Sonic. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. He was Dr. Robotnik.
Oh, in the Sonic movie?
The Sonic films, but I still haven't seen him. And somebody sent me a disc. It's a bootleg.
So?
They sent me a bootleg of the film. I still haven't had a chance to look at it. Uh-oh, Toy Chic is here.
Good evening.
Excited to see you back. I'm out of town working for the summer in the wilderness.
Ooh.
Glad I caught you tonight. Oh, okay. And you're getting a signal?
He's at the ranger station.
Getting that signal?
Yeah.
Where are we?
At the top of the mountain.
Happened? Oh, speaking of which, I'm going to throw this out here real quick, and you guys give me your opinion. Memberships, okay? Because they have the YouTube memberships program, and YouTube actually approached me about doing memberships for this channel, which I'm not opposed to doing it. But my question is, if we do memberships on this channel, what would you like to see out of it? And keeping in mind, it would not change anything that we normally do on our channel anyways. So what would you like to see if there was membership tiers? What would appeal to you? I would do probably tier giveaways personally, but let me know what your thoughts are on that. I'm curious.
You got to stay by the window closest to the door.
Oh, okay. You had to stand on the roof and put your arm in a certain position.
Yeah, that membership costs money because I always see on people's channel, it says join. Like if you look on some people's channel, I know when you on the phone or the computer, it says join and then you got to pay. And some people, they go way out there.
Yeah, there's crazy costs on some of them. I keep it low. You know, I don't want to. I'd put it about as low as they would let me, because I wouldn't want to make it weird for anybody. But I would do regular giveaways with it so that.
Well, just membership only giveaways.
Yeah. Remember, on top of, because I already do like milestone giveaways on the channel, so I would still do that. But like membership only giveaways, and turn like whatever from the giveaways into a prize package and give it back, if that makes any sense.
Oh, okay. So Zombie says that many have behind the scenes giveaways, other video updates for members only, and then really say you can make custom emojis for members to use in live streams and comments. Membership tiers like first viewing a video or something giveaways. More unboxings, more reviews, more topics on comics, more interaction with subscribers.
Yeah.
I guess t-shirt.
T-shirts again.
Yeah.
Shout outs, Robert says. I'm just asking us, like, what would you like to see out of that?
Yeah.
First viewings of videos or something. Giveaways.
It sounds like what's that other
Patreon? Yeah, they're trying to compete with Patreon. And Lynx is here. Thank you for joining us tonight, Lynx.
Thoughts on the Warner Brothers drama? I don't know. That's just that Warner Brothers. That mess is going crazy.
Well, he's cleaning up. The guy, the purpose of that guy, he's a productivity manager, basically, in layman's terms, and his job is to find out where the money is being hemorrhaged and plug the leaks. And so a lot of those projects, it's cheaper to just kill it and take the loss than it is to put it out and have to deal with that. So yeah, let him shut down as much as he can if it's gonna put them back on track. Who cares? It would. The problem is that they're counting on that you're gonna keep watching the garbage anyways.
Yeah.
It's like I've said about some of these TV shows where they watch I don't know, Obi-Wan, or what was the one I heard this a lot about was Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. I didn't like this episode. Oh, but this episode was better. Then I didn't like the next one. Then the next one after that made sense. And it's like, well, you're only getting like what, 8 episodes anyway, and half of them you didn't like.
Yes.
You didn't get your money's worth.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't sit there hoping, oh well, I wasn't happy, but I'll watch it one more time and maybe the next episode will pick up. It's not fair. And that's, if you're not enjoying it completely, there's a problem with the writing.
Yeah.
And they don't care because they know you're going to keep watching it. Some people are liking it, but a majority of people don't seem to be liking the She-Hulk. They don't want to see a comedy from Marvel, especially not one like that. And it doesn't follow the canon of the character, and there's issues with it. But the thing is, people are going to watch it anyway to see, but they're not going to be, after the first episode, they'll still watch the next one and the next one after that. So they can sit there and complain about it.
I think people hope that it would get better.
Yeah.
And that's why they watch so much, because they're hoping, okay, this episode is going to be better. This episode is going to be better. Yeah.
Ridley wants a t-shirt of me with that Care Bear cup from that one photograph.
It turns in what content. Yeah, you're right, Johnny. I think that too. Anybody watches Primal? I don't know what Primal is.
I'm not sure.
I think what the new guy at Warner Brothers is doing is great. I want premium product. Yeah, I agree. Because, from the clips I saw of that Batwoman, I wouldn't ever want to see that TV show. You remember we saw the clips from that Batwoman
you gotta
TV
be kidding.
show?
How did this get on the air?
Yeah. And it's like, okay, again, if you want to have certain types of people in shows, make a show for them, for that person in that vein. Don't get a well-known character and turn them into something else that they're not. Then they're not that character. If Batwoman wasn't what you made her to be in that TV show, then it's not Batwoman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something else.
It's something else.
Don't call it Batwoman. So worry.
But they know that if they invent a whole new character, nobody's going to watch it. They claim it's for the next generation. The next generation is not watching that stuff. Nostalgic people are. And then if they put something like that out, they're not going to get views. They're counting on that someone is going to be nostalgic for that character, and they'll watch it for that purpose, hoping that it'll be good or hoping that it'll get better, and it doesn't.
I don't know, David. It's like the big boss saying we're getting rid of Pringles. They're not making money.
Yeah, but Pringles is good.
Yeah,
but they will get rid of flavors that don't work.
Yeah, but they better not get rid of them Cheezums, because I like that one. That's the one everybody likes, the cheese Pringles.
Yeah, the cheese ones. Yeah, somebody, Kaiser doesn't like Boba Fett, the show.
Yeah, I never seen it to know.
Oh, Black Knight made it.
Hey, Black Knight. He was in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, weren't
Fellow at work gave me all the EPS of, it's too many letters. I don't know what all that mess means. Book number 1.
I guess he got access to watch those shows, is what he said.
Oh, okay. Disney Plus has become about mindless consumption. Yeah, all of those streaming networks are.
They've been doing that for years, though. They just change how it's done. Who remembers in the 90s when they created sequels to all their classics? Do you really need a Cinderella 3, 4, and 5? You know, do you need a Bambi 2 and 3? Or they just
Yeah,
and
Lion King
and a
2
lot
and a
of
half and all that
yeah, and a
stuff.
lot of that ended up going direct to video because they couldn't even pass it to theaters.
Yeah.
So it was unnecessary. They went through that phase where they made sequels to everything. Then they went through and before that they were going through the phase still on VHS where they had the Disney Vault.
Oh yeah, and they won't release.
We're gonna lock it
certain...
up. Better buy it now because you
Yeah.
don't know when we're gonna let it go again. And again is like 3 years from now when the other ones have sold
No,
out.
it's like 20
It
years
wasn't no
later.
20 years.
The Disney Vault is open, and now you can get Cinderella and
please.
Snow White and stuff
It's
like
a load
that.
of crap. Yeah, Kaiser consume product, wait for more product. Exactly.
But I like how Amazon is doing it. It's like they got sections for people. Like they got all of their dumb shows in one section. Okay,
It's
if
a
you
big
want,
section.
yeah, if you want to watch stupid shows, here you go. But then they got good shows like Reacher.
Reacher was actually pretty fun.
We're on Terminal List now. That show is going pretty good. Night Sky was good. Those are only 3.
Night Sky was good too.
But see, now those shows, it was just a show. No agenda, no politics, no nothing.
That's
they just told a story. They had good actors. They had good storyline, good writing. And it was just good shows. And then they got your other shows like the Paperclip Girls and all them other dumb things, and the reality shows
getting tens of views in the other section.
Yeah, and Invincible is good, and I hope they come back with season 2 of Invincible because they did a good job with that.
Yeah.
So, and then when they had Expanse, the Expanse was good. When they had that, and they had some other shows, but it seems like with Disney Plus, from what I understand, I never had Disney Plus. Nobody likes any of the shows that's on there.
Yeah, or they like parts of it.
Yeah, they like pieces of
good,
shows.
Then it isn't. It's good, then it isn't. And it's like it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
Except for apparently The Mandalorian, I think is the only. Is that right? Is that the only one that stayed consistent and didn't bounce you up and down? Because that's frustrating to watch, and I wouldn't bother with it if I got to a point. But I know a lot of people will stick it out, hoping that it'll improve. But if I got to a point where it's just like, okay, I can't do this like roller coaster with the show, I'm not going to watch it anymore. That's why we stopped watching The Walking Dead.
They plan on having She-Hulk to continue on the Hulk in the MCU because Universal has the rights to the Incredible Hulk. I heard that there was supposed to be a movie where the Green Hornet and Kato somehow end up working together, but that it was shelved due to the previous movies with their characters.
Yeah, the last attempt at that was pretty badly done. Most of the time, translating a TV show to a film does not work. There's few rare examples of it coming out okay, like Raul Julia in the Addams Family. That wasn't bad.
Gilgamesh has to go.
Oh no. Well, thanks for joining us. But most of the time when you translate a movie from a television show to a film, it just doesn't pull off. You can't put however many seasons of a show and pull it off in a film. The Charlie's Angels film was bad. A-Team film was bad. On and on.
Yeah.
You could write a list as long as your arm. But Miami Vice film wasn't so bad.
They had a film?
Yeah, they made a movie in the early 2000s.
Well, they made Planet of the Apes. We watching that now.
Planet of the Apes was a movie first.
Oh, yeah. Then it came
and
to
then they made
TV
a TV show, live action show. And the show's not bad, actually, but it didn't stick. It only has like one season. And the cartoon show didn't stick either. It only had a one season, but most Saturday morning cartoons only have 1 or 2 seasons, and they get stretched. Like Fat Albert was on the air for like 15 years on Saturday morning, but technically there's only 3 seasons. So that's how that works. But yeah, the live action Planet of the Apes isn't bad at all, but that's movie going to TV. TV going to movie doesn't work very well, in my opinion.
Primal is awesome, adult, but cool.
Okay.
Working with the Lone Ranger and Tonto, that is. Okay, that was something else. Okay, your opinion. If bad guy won, who would be the ruler? Dr. Doom, Red Skull, Darkseid, Thanos, or Luthor, etc.? That's a Robert question. You know you ask all them weird
Thanos.
stuff.
They get Thanos in there. Where are you?
Right here.
Oh, who would be the best ruler? I see. Dr. Doom.
Okay.
Dr. Doom, the ruler of Latveria, he actually treats his people pretty well. If you follow the storyline, am I mistaken? I think he actually treats his people pretty well.
Ugh, biscuits and gravy, Lay's potato chips.
Oh yeah,
that's disgusting. Pringles are good. They should have turkey and dressing potato chips.
Oh yeah, there's a turkey and dressing soda that comes out during Thanksgiving.
I know it's a candle.
They have it's a company that does weird flavors on purpose. They've got a turkey one and they've got a cranberry sauce one. Although the cranberry sauce one, they probably couldn't screw up too much because there is such a thing as cranberry soda. But I don't know about no turkey soda, guys.
Primal, it's an animated show aired on Adult Swim. They have a series on HBO Max. It's a caveman serving with a mini T-Rex, creator of Samurai Jack. Okay.
So it's like Devil Dinosaur. Chili cheese Fritos
are the best. Did you see the dude who plays Hulk got crazy and opened his mouth and said stuff because people hate it? Yeah, I didn't see it. I saw that a couple of channels were talking about it, but I didn't watch it. But they do what they always do when a show come out, nobody likes it, they blame the fans and
they get someone like that. Odds are he was probably instructed to do that, and he's just following orders. Because they always get somebody who's got to chime in, and it's like, why are you talking about this? They did the same thing with Obi-Wan and the actor from Obi-Wan talking about the toxicity of Star Wars fans because they didn't like the direction that it was going. They didn't like the female character, the antigen, or whoever that woman was, I forget. But is the problem really? And then of course Disney will sift through tens of thousands of comments and cherry pick out 2 or 3 that are racist or are feminist and showcase them and put them on blast.
All of them
for attention and make it sound like it's the entire fan base when it's less than 1% of the fan base. Yeah, that's not fair at all. But they do it for the free publicity.
And they like to call everything, the fans are sexist, the fans are racist, or
maybe
homophobes or something like that. Yeah, just admit that the writers that you have are horrible. They're not good writers in any form. Even if they wrote books, nobody would buy them unless they bought them themselves to get on the top 100 list or the bestseller list.
Oh, Hank, there, chili cheese Fritos. You know, it was the best eating them hot off the conveyor belt when I worked at Frito-Lay.
I've never eaten a chili cheese Frito.
And you cover them with foil and put them in your oven, not a microwave. Put them in your oven for a few minutes and take them out, and you'll get that effect. Because you got to put them with the foil on them so that they retain the oil; it won't evaporate. But hot out of the conveyor right after it goes through the seasoning tumbler, unbelievable. Oh, Gilgamesh got to go.
I told you that.
Oh, you backed up. That's why. I was like, she moved the position of the thing, and I was like, now I'm confused.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see that. I haven't seen Samurai Jack. I forgot about Primal. Yeah, and they have 5 gambler movies with it was 5 gambler movies. I didn't know it was that many. Oh man, Disney Vault. Hot Topic. we're going back to the moon starting Monday. Yeah, sure. I kind of want to see The Boys. Haven't seen it, just clips. David watched The Boys. I couldn't stand it. It's too vulgar.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, and I had to stop too. You know, I was trying to get into it because the story actually isn't bad. I was like, the story's not bad, the acting's not bad. Okay, I get it, but man, it's vulgar.
Yeah.
A lot of really, really nasty language and a lot of really graphic scenes that don't have to be. It can be implied and still get the same point without showing us the whole thing.
And then they made the cartoon. I think we tried to watch the cartoon.
I don't remember that.
They had like season 2 was a cartoon version.
I remember there was a cartoon, but I don't recall seeing it.
Oh, okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was on. But you know, it's just too much. I was like, I ain't got time for this mess.
Hank doesn't like any of the live action G.I. Joe movies. The other ones, the first two, I mean, they kind of felt like the Raw series a little bit, but you know, you're gonna get silly if you do that.
Yeah.
And then the what was the other one?
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes was terrible.
Yeah.
It was really badly done.
Has anyone seen the trailer for Cobra Kai 5? No, we haven't seen it. He said it looks really good.
I think Johnny Future sent us a link for it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
okay, yeah, we haven't seen it.
A link for it, but we haven't seen it. But we haven't seen season 5. But so far, the show's been pretty decent.
Yeah, it's been good,
and it's proof. And I say this all the time, that you can take one of these vintage franchises and get back to it without screwing it up.
I feel bad for that guy because the guy that plays I can't think of his name. He was supposed to be the Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
And
although DC would have screwed that up.
I don't know, but he would have been in a major role.
Yeah.
You know, and that's good. He got a springboard, but then they canceled it. So I felt bad for him because I think he's really good in Cobra Kai. And then now I understand why he wasn't on the show as much. Yeah. You know, he probably trying to work all that out. And then they canceled the show, and they showed some clips from it, and he looked real good in the suit, and saw some you know, like behind the scene footage, and it looked like it was trying to be good, but that's one of the ones they cut. The Disney Vault can be interpreted in such the wrong way. I just imagine all the Disney animated characters in a Supermax prison waiting to be let out for their next movie. David, okay, so read that. I love when they make a part 2 or 3 of a movie and the mask of the main dude, I'm missing something, or a cartoon. The drawing looks different.
Oh, they alter it.
Yeah, and it's bad.
Yeah, Ridley being funny there about why no one likes the She-Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's quite the reason.
No, but it's awful. Hey, Darren. And
thanks for joining us.
Extreme Zone.
Stand. Reston says he just got off work.
Okay, and Extreme Zone is
thanks
here.
Thanks for joining us. And Miss Kitty here, wanting to get attention.
I love The Boys. Homelander was the worst. I think that show would have been fine without him.
Well, and like
Homelander
I said,
was that guy, right?
Yeah, and I don't know, and I know that's kind of the way the book is written, correct? Because I haven't read it, but I think that I would have liked to see it be less vulgar, just as a personal taste. You know, and we're the same way. My tolerance for it was a little better than hers, but then I got to where I didn't want to see it anymore either.
Hank says we need to see For All Mankind. Why did that want to sound familiar?
That does sound familiar, actually.
Could you imagine back in the day if a director, producer, actor complained that the fans of their show were racist or sexist? They would have been, they would have been fired for creating bad PR.
Or the studio would have made them do a public apology, and come up with some excuse why they said it. Now that's the thing.
Yeah, now that's what they do. They make shows, I think, to just divide people. Everything is to divide people. It feels like. When is the Galactic?
Nate, right?
Who? Nate.
Nate's here.
No, hey Nate, how are
Yeah,
you? I didn't see his
because I know
name.
she just called out a couple of people,
Yeah,
but
I know
I
I
was
called out Extreme and Darren.
running my mouth, and so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I wasn't sure.
Oh, Darren said he was gone for a while, but he's back now. But we're glad to see you back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and
Didn't
Bizarro, yeah, Bizarro, Johnny Future. He
What
says
about
evil's,
Bizarro?
Bizarro's evil Superman.
Yeah,
I guess he's thinking of like other characters that they
yeah.
could dig out.
They can bring Bizarro and Superman in a movie, and they can fight. You can kind of give a little background of Bizarro, where he came from.
Bizarro is funny.
He's funny
In the
on Super
yeah,
Friends.
he's funny in the comics
Oh,
too.
is he?
He comes from a whole world and it's completely opposite. So there's like Bizarro, Lois, and all sorts of thing, and they all wear a badge with their name on it so they know who they are. And he's like, I always remember this one scene. I forget which comic it's from, but he's taking Bizarro Lois to dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes to sit down, and he whips the chair out from behind her, and she falls
Mm-hmm.
and lands on the ground, and then and he says, Bizarro is suave, and then she was like, yes, now me know him am gentleman, let me fall on floor. And they did, and they talk like that, and they just do weird things like that to each other, and it's funny.
Well, if it isn't the toy community's power couple, greetings from
Are we?
Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been to Ohio once.
Oh, have you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, quiet.
I told you I went to that.
Where'd you go? Oh, DNO is here.
DNO nostalgia, D
Oh, D
nostalgia.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
Or DNO.
Did you get your hands on that Mezco once deluxe Wolverine yet, David?
No, I don't have that. I do not have that. I haven't gotten anything Mezco for a while. The last one that I got was the Conan.
And Extreme Zone just finished watching the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. James Gunn made horror movies of an evil Superman, but it's not Superman, but characters sort of like him, but evil growing up.
Oh, okay.
I love cocky villains. A big blockbuster live action film to be will be The Killing Joke. Don't know why DC hasn't done that yet, but it did an animated Killing Joke, not a live action.
Yeah, but they did too much to it because
they added that beginning piece.
Yeah, they added like 45 minutes that wasn't in the story, and then suddenly it's the Killing Joke from that point forward.
Yeah.
Like word for word. And it's like they could have just done that part. They didn't need the beginning part because it doesn't even really fit with the story anyway.
No, it doesn't.
It's like two different storylines. It's like, well, how did these tie together? Where do we get here from?
Well, it was a whole different story in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I got the comic. I haven't got to it yet because I'm still on Swamp Thing, but I'm gonna read the comic.
Robert says he doesn't think we like the dark, gruesome comics. No, we just don't like the vulgar stuff. But if it's like,
I like dark comics. I just don't want to be cursed at every 2 words.
Yeah.
And I don't need to see all your graphic sex scenes either. You can imply it. I can figure it out on my own. I don't need to see
turn the lights off. I know what's going on.
Yeah. Do like they did on TV. You wake up and 2 people laying in the bed with a sheet over them. Okay, I know what happened. I don't need to see it. And I don't want to hear your foul language either.
Yeah.
And it just makes you wonder, because I remember somebody told me one time, a person that used foul language all the time isn't intelligent enough to use regular, common, everyday words. And it took me a while to kind of figure that out. But then I think about it now with these people that singers and writers of movies. Is like, is your vocabulary that small that you can't come up with a word that would be just as effective or more effective?
Or is this what you think of your audience?
Yeah. Or do you think your audience is so dumb and can't understand, doesn't have the ability to understand, that's how you got to talk to them?
I mean, listen to the dialogue in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, and you're sitting there like, golly, and I remember, watching it like, man, this dude, he this is how he writes. Then I saw an interview, and that's how he talked for real. And it's like, man, that's how he talks for real.
Yeah,
it's like, wow, dude. But yeah, that's why I don't watch that, and I'm not gonna sometimes you just got to take a stand. And if you keep on buying into it and watching it and giving these people your money, that's what they're going to keep giving you, because they're going to be like, oh, they like this. They like being talked down to. So let's continue to talk down to them. But anyway, we are on Hank. Johnny Future, I agree, would love to see a live action Killing Joke. Yeah. LPH and David, okay, we read that. We said, hey, the nostalgia. One of the first drafts for Superman, what's that, 4?
4.
They were going to have
Bizarro for the
Bizarro.
villain. They changed it to Nuclear Man.
Oh.
Made by Gene Hackman's Luthor. That's correct.
Okay.
But yeah, the Nuclear Man was silly, and then his voice was dubbed, and it was it was too much. But it was kind of funny. Although my youngest, out of the 4 films, he really loved that one. He wanted to watch that one all the time.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why, but it's harmless enough. I was like, okay, yeah, you can watch Superman 4. Little 5-year-old self, whatever.
Yeah, we live in a bizarre world. That's the twist. Yeah.
Bizarro. Oh, so I should pull your chair out?
No.
Oh, okay. I gotta make sure, because I don't want to make you upset. I want you to think I am gentleman. Darren says his mother used to say that too. If you have to use it a lot, it can mean limited intelligence. not in all cases, but it certainly looks that way. And,
especially if that's how you talk normally every day in everyday conversation. Then it's like, what is your problem? Why do you have to talk like that?
Toy Chic wanted to know what we think about the new McFarlane superpowers. They seem to be popular. I haven't seen them in stores.
I thought we saw them in Walmart a couple weeks ago.
No,
we didn't.
What we saw them at the Legion toy show.
Oh, somebody had
that
it out
guy
there?
had cases of them. You didn't stop it.
I saw it.
She kind of bypassed that table on purpose because it was mostly new stuff.
Yeah.
But he had the bat little plane and the figures. He had a ton of them. So we saw a bunch at the show, but not on the shelves. I have not seen any on the shelves, but people seem to like them. Although the one common complaint is that he pinned the capes to the packaging with one of those what do they used to call those T plugs that they use in fabric, but because it's so thin, it leaves kind of a prominent hole in the cape, and so people are upset about that. But I'm not a huge fan of McFarlane's action figures, but in that regard, he's giving people what they asked for. So they like the superpower figures. It's a throwback to the originals. It's the price isn't bad. So what are you going to do? And he's making vehicles.
Yeah.
And not charging $300 for them.
I know. English classes have been replaced with social politics classes. That's the problem.
The real problem started when they took civics out. When they eliminated civics and replaced it with social studies, because of all the government didn't want a resurgence of the protests that they saw in the 60s and 70s.
How many snobby people live in the Marvel universe? Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, and Xavier. Yeah.
Yeah, but they made it work. Especially in the Iron Man, they were snooty, but they knew when to be humble.
Yeah.
And even though they were arrogant, they could back it up without bragging about themselves. They backed it up with their actions. That's where they blew it with Captain Marvel or Marvel, depending upon your pronunciation. But where she was arrogant, and although her powers could back it up, she was very braggadocious, if you will. Like you even saw that in the End Game, where Rocket was like, well, where were you? And she was like, hey, listen, I have to do this, and I have to be here, and I have to, okay, shut up. You wouldn't have heard that from Doctor Strange or Iron Man in that way.
Yeah.
If they were confronted the same way, even though they're arrogant also.
Yeah. But Doctor Strange said that he was running around trying to figure out how to save somebody. And I think he told Tony that, the Iron Man, that he told that to somebody.
He never really flat out said it when he did, but he's
Mhm.
like he was very um otherwise silent about it, and even towards the end when Tony looked at him and he looked out of the corner of his eye and went like this,
Yeah, we
and
have
that means
one option.
this is the one chance,
Mhm.
is what he was saying. He didn't have to run his mouth or do anything. He was doing what he needed to do, and it's a different type of presentation. The way that Captain Marvel was written, it
Mhm.
was not a good presentation.
No.
Plus, they only did that to shoehorn her in. They
Mhm.
gave her a whole movie, so they could shoehorn her into Avengers Endgame, and she didn't even need to be there.
She was only in it, what, like 5 minutes?
I know.
If that long. She
And
was
then
only at the end piece.
And then, according to the canon, drastically toned down Thanos's power to make her seem like an equal.
Mm.
You know, and there were a lot of people who were upset with that. And then, of course, the Marvel moment where all the girls were lined up. We'll take it from here. Yeah, okay.
Did they say that though?
Yeah, they did actually say that. Don't you remember? Oh, you didn't see it in the theater with me.
I did. Me
Oh,
and
you
you
did?
went to the theater
Because
and saw it. But
I saw. Oh, I know. But that's when everybody groaned, if you recall.
I do remember. Well,
Yeah.
I remember them coming. I remember them all coming up and standing and they different and all of that, and everybody like, oh,
taking it from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then everybody groaned in the theater, which tells you everything you need to know about how that was viewed.
Yeah, and then when Captain America picked up the hammer, everybody jumped up. Yeah, they actually got out the chair and
everybody
clapped
was excited,
and was happy.
and they were, you know, it was building. It was looking good, and then they did that moment where they had the girl power section, and that's one thing I will give credit to what was that show again? The Boys, about, is they addressed a lot of that in the show. They had the one thing where they were interviewing the females from the there's a gnat in here. The two females from the team, and they were like, okay, in the middle of the interview, do you think you could just insert the phrase "girl power," something like that? And she's like, "Are you serious?" And asking, "Oh, that's such a great costume," and he was like, "You can see her ovaries in this costume. This is a great costume. This is ridiculous." You know, stuff. They would do stuff like that, and attacking that sort of mainstream attitude, or the interviews like, "Why don't you have enough gay people on your team?" Things like that would come up that the boys made fun of. That I appreciated that bit of the humor. Kaiser said that. Kaiser said that made him cringe in the theater.
Master wants to know why you don't like McFarlane toys.
I just don't care for them. It's the same reason, the same complaints that you have about NECA and some of the other ones. You know, they're not well constructed. I don't like non-functional. Some of the action figures, he likes to lock things into poses sometimes. He's always done that, where the figure is like, the articulation's very limited, even though I don't typically open packages. I like to know I can move the figure around and do things with it. So I'm not a fan of that. Also, I have a bit of a grudge where McFarlane is concerned, because he's the one that introduced variants to action figures in the first place with the original Spawn line in the 90s. Before that, if there was a variant, it was either because it was made in a different country or because there was a mistake that was made. You know, that's how you get like Star Wars and G.I. Joe variants. Okay, Fun School made it, so the paint's a little different, something like that. Or it has to have a different card for whatever reason. Like, I think, what was it, Norway or Sweden? They can't have weapons. They can have guns in the package, but they can't put it on the package, so they had to redraw them without guns for the card art on the G.I. Joes, things like that. But he deliberately made variants and then tried to cover it up. And he sat there and said, like, oh, well, he was just copying what they were doing in comic books at the time in the 90s. It had been done with his original Spider-Man run with Marvel, when he had Spider-Man 1 and there was 5 versions of the cover. And he just adapted that to the toy mainstream. And when he was called out on it at a show, he sat there and he said, and I'm sure nobody remembers or heard this, oh, well, that was because we had trouble translating the color to the Chinese factory because of the, English to Chinese translation was confused. And it's like, excuse me, but don't you send templates to the Chinese factory? I'm sorry, next question. Okay, Todd. But he started doing that, and then he had the one with the comic, without the comic. Oh, this one is all gold. Oh, this one's green instead of orange. And that then they all started doing it. And neither toys nor comics have learned the lesson that should have been learned from the card companies in the late 80s, early 90s, because the trading card companies started doing that first. I know I'm off on a bit of a tangent here.
Yes.
They started doing it first, and it bankrupted a lot of card companies, and it put a lot of trading card shops out of business in the early 90s.
A Scream Zone says they need to have school subjects that people use in everyday life, except, i.e., cooking, laundry, gardening, automotive.
They used to.
Yeah, it's called home ec.
Home ec or shop and stuff like that. Or
you had what was that school you went to? Vocational school.
Yeah, vocational schools
where
like
you learn,
Job Corps.
Yeah, because you learned nursing, you learned automotive, masonry, carpentry,
cooking. They had a culinary section.
Oh yeah, they had a culinary.
Yeah.
But in home ec, you learn culinary. I mean, you learn how to cook. You learn how to sew, do basic sewing. You learned how to take care of the baby, because they gave you a little baby and you had to take care of him, take him around school for that whole semester and take care of the baby and do stuff like that. Now gardening they didn't have. But they used to teach that in school. When I was in high school, that was still a part of school. You had home ec.
And I've brought it up before, when I used to work for the Juvenile Justice Authority, that was a huge problem. Was we would get kids into my facility. It was a YRC2. It's basically a halfway house for kids transitioning out of juvenile back to society. And it was these are kids that are graduating with they're in high school with 4.0s, 3.8s, getting honor rolls, all A's, can't count money, don't know how to cook, don't know how to wash dishes, can't run the washing machine, can't use a broom or a mop correctly. We would go on, and we had this whole life skills class that we would do with practical learning to get these kids to be useful. Couldn't fill out a job, couldn't read the job application, didn't understand it, no comprehension, but you got an A in English. Doesn't make sense. But schools are a failure system.
D-Do. D-Do, what's the deal with the Amazon exclusive Marvel Legends Doc Ock and Silk Spider 2-pack going from $55? Wow.
I didn't see that.
$129.
But I don't buy the Legends figures. I just when something new's coming up, I'll announce it on the weekly roundup on Friday nights. But I'm not. I haven't seen that. I'm not familiar with that.
That's crazy.
I don't know what happened.
Too many Timmys and Sallies either stapled or burned their hands.
That's how you learn.
And parents complained, so the school removed it. Those classes. Natural selection, baby, either you can make a cobbler or you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they that's unfortunate, but that's how you learn. I stuck myself with the needle. Oh, this or that, but that's how you learn.
Yeah, that's how I learned.
And you can't
burn my hand a couple of times on that stove.
Sometimes you got to let the kid fall down. Sometimes you got to let them scrape their knee. Yeah, Johnny. It says sex education and social studies replaced home ec and civics, and those areas have gotten worse ever since.
Yeah,
they've gotten worse ever since.
It used sex education used to be an elective.
Yeah,
I
don't need the school teaching that.
No,
and they make it younger and younger, and they
now you're in you're in daycare center.
Yeah, and it causes more problems than it solves. And I could see that even in the 90s.
I'm sure they got the pregnancy part done correctly. Yeah.
Those kids know they don't need a
Yeah.
sex class.
Anyway,
Kaiser said he stabbed himself in the face with a soldering iron. Did you?
I hope it wasn't on.
Were you holding it wrong?
No child left behind. That's true.
Yeah. Basically, that means that they won't be held back a grade.
Yeah,
That's all
you
that
can't
is.
fail.
No child. Yeah, they continue to pass them through with the grade, but they continue to do the work that was previously assessed until they catch up or age out. Which
they usually age out.
Yeah, you'll still graduate.
You
So
just quit
why bother?
with your class.
Yeah.
When your class graduate, you quit.
Yeah.
I always thought they should show the actual birth video.
Show a real bad one. Show a cesarean.
Or when they had to switch up to the cesarean because the regular method don't work.
Yeah.
The baby gets stuck. Oh no, we got to go to the cesarean.
Elephant birth, huh? An elephant birth. Oh, show the rhinoceros birth from Ace Ventura too. Oh, look, the beauty and splendor of a natural birth. You okay?
Oh my God, no.
That'll do it. Oh man, it's all fun and games.
Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about toys and comic books.
Oh, two old geeks just made it.
Hey, 2 old geeks.
Oh no, 2 old geeks. Oh yeah. She just got this lot in, and this is Silver Age King. Silver Age, right?
Yeah.
King Comics. Mandrake the Magician, and these are in actually really nice shape, even though the guy packed it like garbage. I was upset when I saw that packaging, and this is most of the set because there's
all except for 2.
Yeah, all except for 2. Mandrake the Magician, and what's his name? Lothar.
Yeah, Lothar was always with Mandrake.
Yeah, that's why he didn't have an independent book. Mandrake and Lothar were a team.
Yeah. So I'm gonna read this.
Look at Lothar, Mandrake and Lothar fighting Martians. Defenders.
Yeah.
Defenders of the Earth, and these are actually in pretty decent shape, although they took a hit, and you can see it when she holds it up in the lower left-hand corner. See that little pinch? But it goes through and it hits the book because the whole thing was struck on the edge somewhere. I think you can see it more on that one. Yeah. Defenders. But I can, that's something I can fix.
Yeah. So he's gonna press that out.
She just needs a couple more to complete that entire
Yeah, I need
run.
2 more for this set. Because this set right here that came out in the 60s only had 10. And then you had the set that came out, I think, in the 40s.
Yeah, I think so. Because it's a pre-code. It's pre-code the original series.
Didn't they make a Mandrake action figure?
Yeah, they did for Galoo.
Galoo, but I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Because I'm working on that. I'm working on that one, and I need Phantom. Sorry,
Phantom.
I need Phantom and Mandrake.
Yeah,
but I've never seen a Mandrake, even Loose and the robot.
Yeah,
but even Loose, I've never seen a Mandrake.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's from like Glue, what, 85, 86, I think.
86 or 7.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, D-Dow NECA also they re-released the Defenders of the Earth, and they also have a Mattel 1989 version of Ming and Flash.
Yeah,
NECA does,
and I hope they
a boxed and a carded version.
I want the carded version, but I can't find it in the stores.
Well, we saw the carded version in the store, but it was like,
yeah, it's crazy. Supposed to be on sale,
$40-something.
Yeah, so I ain't getting it. That Mandrake as a kid, hard to find today. I had Mandrake as a kid, hard to find today. Yeah, well, you can find it on eBay, and it's fairly cheap. Because I bought that whole lot. somebody was selling the whole thing, and it actually wasn't bad. I was surprised. And I found one at a comic show, but it's from the set before that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like in the middle. But I bought it because the first set from the 40s is hard to find. You can't even find that on eBay. So you gotta look around.
Robert wants to know if I have any card sets.
What kind of cards?
For vintage.
Trading cards?
Yes.
Oh, you don't do that.
I've got the Burger King set from 1980. I've got the complete set of Burger King Star Wars cards from 1980. I have the complete set of Topps Star Wars picture cards from the Empire series. And those are the cards that are like that big.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a complete set of ET cards, the original ET cards that actually Johnny Future sent to our P.O. box.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, I don't. I used to have in the old collection, the one that was ripped off, complete like wax pack boxes of a lot, like Space 1999 and Kiss and just all sorts of Pac-Man, anything you could think of from the 70s and 80s. I had like 40 of them, all different, and they were complete boxes with the packs unopened in them because I was collecting those back when they were cheap, back when you could pick up a box of Kiss cards for like $20. Not anymore.
Whatever happened to the older toy companies like Galoob and Knickerbocker? They were all like bought out or went bankrupt.
Yeah, they went under and their licensing was bought out. And then, at some point, people didn't want to be bothered, like Knickerbocker or Raggedy Ann. It hasn't been done.
Knickerbocker had a lot of stuff under them.
They did, and they had some nice stuff.
Yeah, I like their figures. I got a few from them. They had Sesame Street and they had Raggedy Ann and Andy.
Yeah.
And I like how they packaged it, and their stuff looked really good. And they just
I got the Knickerbocker Snoopies. They're back. You can't see them.
Oh
from
yeah,
here,
you can't see it from here.
Yeah, the Knickerbocker Snoopy action figures I was really fond of, and I've got them, like I said, sitting here. Really, really tough to find that stuff, and it's not that expensive for being vintage, actually.
Isn't there a 30s or 40s TV series of Mandrake the Magician? I'm not sure. I know they got a Phantom, and I think that's on Tubi, and I think it's a live action Flash Gordon.
I have the Flash Gordon and the Phantom movie serial series. There might have been a 50s TV show. I'm not sure.
We just finished watching the Flash Gordon cartoon from the 70s. That was good. It was one season, but the first half of it, I think the first 14 episodes were one continuous story.
Well,
and
it was 2 seasons. It was 2 seasons.
Oh, it was 2 seasons?
Yeah, but the first season,
was one
whole season was one story.
And it was really good. It was
really well written.
Yeah.
And the animation is fantastic.
Yeah.
Animation, the voiceover, sound effects, color, everything was done well. The second season, it felt more kiddish.
Yeah, it did. And it was a different writer. And I like the
standalone stories.
Yeah.
And I like with the first season's much better. The first season's definitely worth watching. The second season.
This second season you can watch, but it wasn't as good. And it's on Tubi. So it's free on Tubi. Flash Gordon 1979 version. And it was really good. So
D. Dow says he heard someone's releasing a line of Sectar's action figures. Yeah, it's been out. It was out. I think it was who the heck was that released had that series, because he did them in 4-inch and jointed like G.I. Joe figures.
Extreme says he has some Marvel and DC trading cards.
Okay.
I hope you do a video on your cool card set. I'm fond of those old Topps card sets, Star Wars, Empires, Raiders, Superman, stuff like that.
Okay.
I have the TV show
Zika.
UFO.
It's Zika Toys.
Okay.
Zika Toys is doing it, but I think they canceled their second wave because of lack of interest.
Oh, wow. Did you hear 200 episodes of Sesame Street are being removed from streaming because of the racist mascot lawsuit? I heard about that lawsuit. It was like at the Sesame Street theme park where the puppet pushed a little black girl, but I don't think it was all like that. You know what I mean? I saw the video. It didn't look like. I don't know, cause I don't know. I don't. It said that the puppet pushed the girl. You know, like pushed the girl. I saw the video, but I don't really remember it that well.
It wasn't like how they say.
Yeah.
Basically.
But why you got to remove 200 episodes?
I don't know. Because they're pathetic.
Yeah, and it does go back to what we were talking about physical media, and he's saying that's why physical media is so important. It is because if you don't have it now, when they pull those 200 episodes off, you'll never see that again in your life.
Yeah. And the vintage stuff is much better than what they got out now. Stuff they got out now is garbage.
Yeah. Glue figures remind me of the reaction figures. They're big. Reaction figures are tiny.
The glue figures are like 6 inches tall.
Yeah, they're big.
They got a knob on their back to make them punch and stuff.
I'm glad I grew up when George Reeves was Superman, Adam West was Batman, Guy Williams was Zorro, Lou Ferrigno was the Hulk, Jackson Butwick was Captain Marvel, and Rob Brown was Captain America.
Johnny says he has the UFO card collection. That's got to be a tough one. Or UFO, actually, because if you watch the show, they pronounce it UFO.
Is there any IP that you would love to have toys for that?
Yeah, I think about that all the time because I'd like to get my Major Matt Mason stuff back.
What's IP?
Intellectual property.
Oh, that you would love.
Yeah, I'd like to get my because I had a complete carded and boxed Major Matt Mason collection once upon a time.
Remember when they used to put cards in Wonder Bread?
Yeah, and in cereal boxes and a few other places too, right?
Hardline Soul.
I even remember cards in
Retro Philosopher
boxes of like Hostess cakes and things like that.
Started watching The Defenders of the Earth with the family on Tubi. It catches on. It really catches on. You gotta watch it. You know, at first it's corny. You sit down about it because that's what we did. We just made jokes about it, and the song just sticks to you because that guy sang that song with passion.
Yeah, he was. And then of course their alcohol episode is classic. It's one of the best.
But they had the
cartoon moments ever.
They had the alcohol and a drug moment because Rick got addicted to cocaine.
Yeah, he was snorting lines for real. Yeah.
And wasn't it the little boy called him not Zuffy? I always call that boy Zuffy. Kashin.
Kashin called him.
Kashin called him, and
but that one was okay. But the
alcohol one was better.
Is if you watch nothing else from that series, watch the one with the alcohol and Zuffy going to get a drink, and Mandrake sitting there reading the paper, and he's like,
"What are you doing?"
He's sitting there looking at him at the bar, mixing himself up a drink. You know, Zuffy's like 8.
Yeah,
or not Zuffy. You got me doing it. Kashin's like 8 years old. He's like, "Excuse me, Kashin, what are you doing?" He's getting the hair of the dog. Like, oh my god.
It was good. The show does grow on you. Let me see. Toy Chic picked up the Dark Shadows 10 Best Episode sealed DVD at Goodwill because of you. My mother used to love this show, but never could get into it. You know, it's on Tubi for free. You can watch the whole thing on Tubi starting from the beginning because the first 2-3 seasons when it's black and white with when they just looking who Mr. Malloy. That's what I call it. That version there was really good. Now when Barnabas came in, when they went to the 1700s and Angelique came
when they
in,
did the time travel,
started going downhill.
It got wonky then.
Yeah, that's when it got wonky. But when they were just looking for Who Shot Mr. Malloy. Man, I almost binge watched that because it was like it really got you, and you're like, man, who shot? Because they had you going, you didn't know who killed that guy.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you got that.
Robert says that he has the Zika Buck Rogers. Yeah, they only did Buck Rogers and Tiger Man, but they were supposed to make, I think, 5 figures, and that they canceled that too.
Oh, wow.
So, and that was it. That's in the Mego Like. That's an 8-inch figure.
Hank says he cannot get the Zola World site to work for
Really?
ordering the clamshells for the Kenner Batman figures. If you can't get it on
anything about that
on Zola World, try Toy Shield.
Yeah, Toy Shield has a lot of variety sizes too, and
they're cheaper than Zola World, not by much. But
I was looking at them just recently, and I think they've got some restocks because I need a few certain sizes too for my Cops figures. I don't have it because I like keeping them in the clamshells even just to keep it safe. And I've got a bunch of Cops figures. I got 4, but I don't have clamshells for them, and I think they've restocked recently.
2 Old Geeks say you could cosplay as Mandrake.
Who, me?
Yeah. Oh wait, I passed Raccoon Eyes. It was saying, I think he was saying that he has some Duran cards.
Duran Duran was one of those top 80s bands. They were good, actually. Duran Duran was really good at that, especially in the time period. Well, we love 80s music anyways.
Yeah. Johnny Future is currently watching Captain Scarlet. We saw that on Rift Track.
Yeah,
Captain Scarlet.
The original Captain Scarlet, it's only 1 season. That's a dark show. That is a dark show for being a children's show. It's one of Jerry Anderson's best series, though. And he's got a very unique superpowers. Same people who did Thunderbirds, or Jerry Anderson did all those Super Marionation shows, as well as Space 1999 and Moonraker. He did the special effects for Moonrakers and so on and so forth. But
I think the cat. Oh, she's right there.
She's right there. She just upset because I laughed and it scared her. She's very scary. But his power is that he's like a phoenix. He can come back if he dies. And so he dies in every episode in a different way. A car crash, falls off a building, gets shot up with a machine gun, blown up, and he's dead. But then he pulls back together and he comes alive again. It's like, wow, what a shitty power. Because that's got to hurt, But
Socrates changed his name to the retro philosopher.
Oh, okay.
You remember Socrates? And I think he got a wife, Melody, I think.
Yeah.
Robert wants to know what is the news on my Barnabas custom. I showed that, but he wanted a review.
He showed it.
He wants a
She's
full
still
on
looking
review.
for a couple of pieces.
Yeah.
Darren said of the 1970s cereal boxes, there used to be a cutout for 45 RPM. Right?
Really? Oh, you got some. David got something.
You mean like that? Yeah, they did do that. 45 RPM records. Toucan Sam workout. Anybody?
Oh my gosh.
You know what I should do?
What?
Is I should put this on the record player and record it and put it on a video. How would that be for
You're gonna get YouTube strikes.
Not if it's on a membership tier.
Oh.
No, but seriously though, still thinking about that. Just want to make sure if I do that, it's anything that anybody actually even wants.
I have the Nolan Ryan holographic card.
Oh God, I remember that.
That came in the cornflakes boxes when I was little.
The holograms you can barely see though, right? Because it was early hologram technology. It's like some of those early ones are really tough to see. I've got the ones from Sugar Bear, and they're holograms of Sugar Bear.
Rest in peace, Robert Wrigley, the voice of Thundar the Barbarian, Tarzan, the Lord of the Jungle, and Adventures in Flash Gordon.
Oh, okay.
I collect a lot of Blu-rays, almost 1,600 so far. I wish Sesame Street was on the Blu-ray and the Big Bird movie. I want Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, and Reading Rainbow. If they had those on DVD, I would get them. Now, the originals.
Yeah, I have the original Sesame Street and Electric Company
Mm-hmm.
on DVD box sets,
Mm-hmm.
but they're like best of anthologies
Yeah,
because
see,
there's too many. I
yeah,
mean,
and that's understandable.
you know, a Sesame Street, it did 5 days a week a
Mm-hmm.
show,
Yeah,
with no holiday or hardly any breaks. So more than 200 episodes a year.
yeah.
Mr. Rogers, the same thing for decades. So it'd be tough.
And
But
reading Rainbow.
but the episodes that I have, it's called Old School Sesame Street Volumes 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
They are complete volume. They are complete episodes. But from different eras. Orange, Oscar the Grouch, and Sam the Robot and stuff people don't hardly remember. Harry the Strong Monster. But that's the best stuff. It is the best stuff.
Johnny says he's opening a soda and dropping the tab inside the can and drinking it. Who hasn't done that? You remember when you would open the soda and you had to try and get that ring part off with the tab?
Yeah, because it was a peel strip.
Yeah.
And
no, it wasn't a peel strip. You just pop the thing back. But when you took the tab off, it was a ring part that stayed on it. But if you could do it right, you could get the tab and the ring off at the same time.
Yeah, because it was a peel strip. You peel up the tab, you lift up the tab, and then you peel it back, and it would because it was a cutout form.
No, David.
She doesn't know what I'm talking about.
No, you're talking about the can, the Donald Duck can. We're talking about a soda. The soda can, the Pepsi. You crack it open.
Okay.
One of us don't know what we talking
Yeah.
about. But it's okay. But we've all done that. Toucan Sam is gonna sue you. Yep.
That's all right.
Exactly, David. Right for the those 45 records. Yes, do the LP record. Hey, I'm curious, when you go to conventions, do any of those convention guys see you? What do you mean, see us?
See us how? Where are you?
Right there, Robert. He's saying, do they see us? What do you mean?
In what
see
regard?
Us?
How do you mean?
Can you see the honeycomb theme? Can you sing?
Would you rather spend a week alone in a forest or a single night in a real haunted house? Well, probably a week in the forest just to get some rest and relaxation. But there's no such thing as a real haunted house, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, if you're in the forest, where you gonna stay at?
In a hammock. You don't want the ants to get on you.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I'm trying to see where this cat at. I think she want to go upstairs.
Oh, maybe she does.
Come on, kitty.
Oh, Raccoon Eyes like the Magic Garden. Do I remember that one? Oh, the original Muppet Show, Robert. They've produced all but the last season, I think. I have the first 4 seasons, but I don't think they ever made the last season. And they have a lot of copyright issues with the Muppets because of the guest stars. Every single episode has a celebrity guest star, and those people, if they're still alive, or their families, if they're deceased, want a piece of that. It's the same problem that we had with the original 60s Batman, the Adam West Batman, because of all the guest appearances. It was forever for them to work out the licensing with that. WKRP too, because of the music, the same problem. Miami Vice, same problem. But the Muppet Show, they got as far as 4 seasons, and then they hit a stone wall. And I don't think they ever produced that 5th season. But yeah, classic Muppet Show, which by the way is a primetime television show. It wasn't really written for children. It was written with an adult theme in mind. Classic TV, well worth watching. Hank says, I miss buying a Coke and twisting the cap off to see if you want a free Coke. I remember that. I remember doing that. Retro says, David, did they ever make an old school the count figure? How hard is it to get favorite Sesame Street character? Yeah. Only in a puppet form made by Child Guidance. And the Child Guidance puppets, especially if they still have the box, are pretty hard to come by. Yeah, Zom says Cereal Box Records. Yeah, the Monkees, Bobby Sherman, the Archies, Jackson 5. Yeah, they did do that.
Oh, okay.
You collect those. He collects cereal premiums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Darren says, you remember the old pop can? Oh, yeah, okay. Monkees was sponsored by Kellogg's, Retro says.
Oh, wow. They're making a new Ninja Turtle movie called Mutant Mayhem.
Oh, okay. And Two Old Geeks says every parking lot was full of those soda pop tops. I bet. Master said, will they ever make an Incredible Hulk 2-pack of any scale of Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby? I don't know. They could. It would work. People would buy that. But you would have, you'd have to get, I'm sure that Lou Ferrigno would allow for that. But I'm not sure about Bill Bixby's family, if they would allow his likeness to be used.
Robert is saying, do the convention people see your channel? Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
They say they watch our channel.
If you watch the Legends, we got called out a bunch of times while we were filming, including by a few dealers. We're like, hey, it's you.
Yeah. Oh, we watch your channel all the time.
Yeah, we do get called out surprisingly.
Yeah.
Because we don't feel like we're a big channel. But yeah, people watch. People do seem to notice us.
I know people are hating on Bill Cosby for the various crimes or reasons, but I know many kids love Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids show and learn valuable life lessons on it. Yeah.
That's the Fat Albert is one of the best Saturday morning cartoons ever done. If I had a top 10 list, it would be on it. And aside, because it's negligible whether or not he's actually guilty of anything, that's a whole other topic of discussion. But guilty or not guilty, does that detract from his contributions to entertainment? It's like he had the Cosby Show. It was a good show. It's dated now because it feels very 80s, but it was a good show. So was the Fat Albert and the Gang. Again, one of the best Saturday morning cartoon shows of all time, in my opinion. So should we erase that because he got into trouble? I don't think so. I don't think that's fair. You can't erase history.
Well, we live in a cancel culture society now where society thinks that if they just say a lot of bad things about you and, we're going to erase you, that your whole life and memory is erased and everything that goes along with it.
And there could be something good in there.
Yeah.
There could be. It's like when OJ got in trouble. And this was at the beginning of this. I don't think people realized this was happening in the 90s. There was a radio station that, as a publicity stunt, when they had the auction where at his house to raise money because of the second court hearing, okay, they bought as many of his trophies as they could so that they could publicly demolish them for a publicity stunt. What does that accomplish?
Yeah.
What is that? Did you erase his accomplishments? Because again, if we're being honest, the only one who really knows if he's guilty for sure is him. So all that aside, what if, and I'm not saying if he's guilty or innocent, if he's innocent, think about what they've done to him.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, but that's the type of society that we live in. And it's just like that old adage, if you forget history, you're bound to repeat it or something like that.
You're destined to repeat it.
Yeah, you're destined to repeat it. So now we got a lot of history that people want to erase, just like Aunt Jemima. Do you even know the story behind? And then people love to come on YouTube and tell you a story behind something. But Aunt Jemima has a history. Yeah.
And she was a success.
A very successful person. So if you're going to raise up one group of people, why tear them down because you don't like that how she look on the bottle?
Yeah. Or you think whatever. You think it's some kind of a stereotype or whatever.
Yeah.
And
they changed her look because of that.
Yeah. And then still erased it.
Yeah, and still erased
the original version looked like how she really looked. And Uncle Uncle Ben's rice, there really wasn't Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're canceling, and it's kowtowing to a minority of people complaining probably don't even use the syrup or the rice.
Exactly. I mean,
it's pitiful.
Granted, I don't use Aunt Jemima or Uncle Ben's, but I knew who they were. Yeah. I'm not trying to go and hold up signs and say, "Oh, we need to erase them for what?"
Yeah.
And then you'll come back in 5 years and say that we don't have any
Oh, she's still down here.
representatives. Yeah, that we don't have any representatives. But when we had representatives,
You
you
complained.
erased them all.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going onto the
you know,
wrong field.
You know who didn't get erased?
No.
The Quaker Oats guy.
Yeah.
The white guy stayed.
But that's not what this
Okay.
channel is for.
Okay,
We're not
okay.
talking about that.
Yeah.
Now, Johnny said, is there any expensive Funko Pops sets that you would that you could have? What would it be? His would be Wizard of Oz. I wanted that Wizard of Oz set.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. But it was too expensive.
Yeah, it
was very expensive.
Oh man, if I was
I
gonna
don't
get a
even
set-
know. I used to know, but now that I'm kind of out of Funko, I don't even know anymore. But since you said the Wizard of Oz, I did want that Wizard of Oz set when I was big in it, and it was always too expensive, so I never got it. But I do like the Wizard of Oz set, and I can't really think of none now. I would have to think back, but the Wizard of Oz set is one that if I could have, I would want that one.
Probably for me, the original ad icon monster cereals.
Oh,
because I had them,
mm-hmm.
and I don't anymore. They're gone, but I probably want them back.
Yeah, like the original ad
Mhm.
icons, probably like all of them, like just the ad icons. Those would probably be cool.
Mhm.
But like you said, the Wizard of Oz. We don't have any plans for Halloween. We don't really get into
I think
holidays.
last Halloween we did a live stream, didn't we?
I think
Did
we
we do a
did
live
because it
stream on
seemed like
Halloween?
it was on a weekend.
The I'm ignoring the doorbell live stream. What do you think about that? Should we try that again if we're not doing anything?
What's your idea? Yeah.
No promises.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
Just throwing it out there.
What's your opinion on the Funko soda cans?
It's the same as the Pops. It's a recreation of the Pops.
Yeah.
Because it's the same formula, but now you can't see the chase
Mhm.
anymore, and that's the appeal. Just like the Pops are actually a recreation of Remco's famous figures, because Remco already made window box big head caricature figures, as did Mattel with their Chatter Chums line. The big head figure has been done before. This is, and I've mentioned this before, the sodas are similar to the Sutton and Son vinyls that were made in the early 70s, and they came in a bag, same as how the Dakin did the Warner Brothers figures and the United King Features Syndicate figures. So it's not an original idea at all. It's a little different because they can't make it the same exact, but it's a recreation of something that's already been done, and the appeal to me is based on the idea that people are looking for those chases and can't see them now.
Yeah.
And we've seen videos of people. Remember that one guy? He had 19 cases.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there just tearing through them. He's like, he shake it like this, and that was his luck. All right, shake it for luck, and tear the pop top off. And he didn't even look at the figure. He's looking at the little disc underneath. No, not this one. Put it down. Shake up the next one. Okay, not this one. Put it down. I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Looking for the chase.
Looking for the damn. What are you going to do with all the other ones? Because nobody wants them.
So.
Yeah, he'll make his money back, sure.
Those Funko cans look. I guess that's
look cool, but they're more expensive.
Wow.
I'm not sure how much they go for.
I've never seen them in the store. I don't think. Have we?
Uh-oh. No, I don't think we have. You you need to come up a little bit more.
Oh.
Ridley was asking me something.
Oh, okay.
He says, "Did you work for Frito?"
Okay.
You worked for Frito-Lay's and lived in Kansas at some point. Would you have known an Alvin Thompson? If the timing is right, you may have worked with my dad, Alvin Thompson. I don't think so. A lot of people at that plant, and they run 24/7. It's a 24-hour day process. The line doesn't go down until they meet a quota. So he could have been on a different shift in a different division. I worked in corn. I was a skilled processor in the corn division, so I made Doritos and Santitos and scoops and stuff like that. Gregory says, could you tell me about retro Halloween toys? In what regard? How do you mean retro
Who you talking
Halloween
to?
toys? Gregory says, could you tell me about retro Halloween
Oh, I
toys?
see.
I don't remember too much about specific retro Halloween toys. Usually it would just be something really novelty like
Yeah.
Bendy's. And I think I did a showcase a couple of years back of Bendy Halloween figures from the 70s or bubblegum machine style, because they'd also roll those up in a ball and put them in the bubblegum machine eggs. More so what would stand out for Halloween would be those Ben Cooper style Halloween masks and the vinyl smock with that plastic mask with the elastic that would break off. Those are, I think, the most classic thing from vintage Halloween is that style of mask. Oh, Retson says with OJ, I think it was his twin who was in the Bronco. Hey.
Yeah. And Retro said, did you know what they got rid of Uncle Ben Land O'Lakes? Didn't change a thing. No.
Oh, you know what happened is on Land O'Lakes, because the background is still there, so they got rid of the Indian and kept the land.
Yeah.
How's that?
I think didn't they change the name of Eskimo pie?
I think so.
I think they changed.
And who cares? I don't hear any Inuit people complaining about Eskimo pie. They don't.
No.
It's just people trying to act PC.
Yeah, when it's convenient
it's
from
pitiful.
them, just like with the that baseball team named after the Indians. And then you got all of these baseball. It's mainly baseball teams that are named after.
And they have some senator storm forefronting it, and we're going to fight for this instead of doing something legitimate with his time. Yeah. And then you interview the Indians, and then they're like, we don't care. Because I remember they interviewed, they were doing a poll with Indians. More than 80% of them did not care.
No, but then you got that 1 or 2 that's activists, and they're going to make a big deal about it. And they got to walk around and hold up signs. And you looking at them and like, man, you don't look like nobody. But it's just stupid. But it's more things out there that are pressing that we could put our time in, and you want to put your time into something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You could be doing something positive. Dom says the best Funko stuff was the Splastic Plastics. I remember those. Actually,
you used to collect those.
No, I never had any.
Oh, I thought you were getting the
No, I never had the Splastic Plastics. You know what Funko made that I thought was pretty good that they don't do anymore was the Hikaris.
Yeah, the Hikaris were good.
Really interesting. They were hand painted. They
a limited run.
They were all limited runs. They were really low numbers. They were interesting. Robert's got a rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Charlie.
I remember one Halloween as a kid when I said trick or treat. The lady said, "I'm going to give you a trick." I didn't get any candy from her. Can't remember what the trick was. Yeah, you didn't get nothing. That was a trick.
She gave you a memory. That's what you got from that. D. Dow says they got rid of St. Pauli girl, Coppertone girl, and the PBR girl as well. Interesting.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. Oh, Retro says, yeah, the soda guy.
What soda guy? McDonald's did some cool Halloween toys and buckets. Yeah.
Says he blows a lot of money on those cans.
Oh,
the soda can guy. He's seen the video we're talking about.
That guy had, he had like 20 cases.
Excuse me. He's talking about the chicken nugget figures and with the little Halloween disguises. Those were cool. And of course, every year they did have the bucket for the Happy Meal that you could use for your trick or treat bucket. That's some memories there. You know what else is a really good, aside from the bucket? They also did boats. I don't know if it still exists. In Mississippi, they had a riverboat McDonald's.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a McDonald's built on a riverboat. And as a promotion, their Happy Meal prizes came in a clamshell boat that you could actually use like in the bathtub or the pool or whatever.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, those are hard to find, but that's really cool. I'd like to collect those.
Extreme Zone says that the Funko sodas are $20
really?
in Canada, and the pops are $12.
Well, that's Canada.
Yeah, but still, it's
I know what
about
you
the
mean. Yeah, yeah,
same.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's a little higher in Canada,
Yeah.
Australia too. They complain about the prices a lot. I don't blame them.
Will you be doing a Halloween live stream this year? Maybe doing the top 10 Halloween movies, top 10 Halloween TV specials, and top 10 Halloween songs. I don't know. We might
Halloween
do a
songs.
Halloween
A
live
live stream. We
stream.
were thinking
We
about
did
it.
it
We brought
last
it up
year, didn't
earlier.
we?
Yeah, we did it
Yeah.
last year. The I'm not answering the doorbell live stream.
Yeah.
Because not that anybody even trick or treats anymore, because no one came around.
Well, we don't know because we was down here.
We would have heard the door.
We don't have a bell. You would have to knock.
Oh well.
I collect theme franchises, not the specific line of toys. Always looking for something new. Do you collect lines of toys or themes?
I don't know.
I collect. I guess it's the line.
We can't.
Not so much a theme. Well, okay.
Catches our eye.
Yeah. Like with NECA, I like to collect horror stuff. And then with Funko, well, I collect a lot of stuff with Funko, but I did collect some of the horror stuff with them. But it's usually a line like Masters of the Universe or Thundercats or a Ninja Turtle, something like that.
I don't think I follow a specific theme, although I've got things like groupings, like a lot of the stuff over there is television related.
Yeah.
And things like that. But, I'm not like all in. Like I know a guy who only collects Batman.
Yeah.
And I know a guy that only collects 70s and 80s Mattel properties.
Yeah.
Something like that. If it's from Mattel from that time period, he wants it. But no, I don't think I like gravitate towards something that specific.
Yeah, I mean, I will only collect stuff that I've watched, like a TV show or a movie, but I had to have watched it. Nothing that I've never seen before, because I want to be able to talk about it and remember something about it. Or even if it's a book or something like that, it has to be something that I've seen before.
Yeah, and to tie in that nostalgia. Oh, Shiny Haunter has made it.
Hey, Shiny.
And Out of Sight.
Out of Sight been here.
Was he? Did I miss it? I hate it when YouTube puts ads at the beginning of the live stream when you click on that's YouTube for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Quint from movie Jaws. Oh, I never saw Jaws.
Really?
You're going to get monkeypox for Halloween. I'll scare them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, with all those wrestlers doing autograph signings, does Hogan do any signings? I don't know.
Hulk Hogan does do signings. His autograph is
you
up
don't
there,
come
though.
around here.
He's expensive. You're gonna pay for that one. He was on the same tier with Stan Lee. Although there are people that charge way more than that. There are some people with autograph. The price of the autograph, it makes you do a double take. And again, me coming from an era where they were just free. We went to a show and they were free. Or if you did pay for an autograph, you went to a sci-fi show, it'd be like $10.
Yeah. Retro Philosopher is talking about how Funko got the new 3-liter soda.
Yeah,
we've been showing that on the live
7-inch figure inside, I think.
I'm telling you, the thing that'll really take them off is the lunch boxes with thermos.
Yeah,
they do the lunchbox because they got a lot of properties.
Yeah,
they can do a lot with that. They do the lunchbox because they've done lunchboxes before, but it didn't have
just
a
the
thermos.
box. Yeah,
but if they really do a full-size lunchbox with thermos, it'll take off, and they can do their little chase, glow in the dark, and all of this and that there. Yeah. But I think that'll take off better than some of this other stuff they doing.
Stone Sour wants to know if you have any pops on pre-order.
No, I don't. I got all my pops in. I'm not getting any more pops.
Okay.
I do have some toys at Big Bad Toy Store, but I haven't ordered anything new in a long time. I was debating if I was going to get the new set of Super 7 Ninja Turtles. I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet. I don't know if I will or not. I really backed up on buying toys. You know, I just
Modern
want to.
stuff, especially.
Yeah, I just want to do. I haven't even bought
That's too much.
old stuff. I haven't bought any toys in a long time, in months.
Okay.
I haven't.
But especially when you, like I was saying, dealing with new stuff, it is so much, and it comes out so quickly. It's hard to keep up with.
Yeah. Right now, I'm collecting some Marvel retro figures, maybe some Super 7 G.I. Joe, just main characters. Trying to collect the black and white NECA Universal. No, that's the first time you ever did that.
She pushed a box. I don't know what she's doing.
Hey, Melody. How you doing?
Hey.
Never saw Jaws. No, I never saw Jaws. There's a couple of movies that everybody on Earth have seen except me.
Yeah.
And Jaws is one of them.
Jaws and Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars, E.T., Back to the Future.
You're gonna make somebody cry.
Oh, well, I mean, those are just shows that I never cared to see.
Shiny says that that's how we support them. Watch those ads. Well, thanks.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta let it run. I have the black and white NECA, great display. I think they've only made 3 so far: Frankenstein, Mummy, and the Wolfman. Give Funko time, they'll get to the lunch boxes. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna collect them if they do it. I won't collect it.
Oh, what's that?
I'm trying to. Where are we?
Reston says, talking about Reston's Greg the Hammer Valentine was at a small trading card show here recently. He did not resemble the photos he was none of them do. That's the one thing I give Sergeant Slaughter credit for was on the Joe Fest on their cover page. They've got him as G.I. Joe, you know, him, the Sergeant Slaughter from G.I. Joe in the background, and in the foreground is a current photo of him, not a picture of him from 1982. You know, like a lot of these guys do. And you see, because it throws you off. You see the picture, and I know why they do that. They do it because that's the nostalgic aspect of it.
That's
if
what
they're
you
from
remember.
the golden age of wrestling, then which to us is from 75 to 95 in that pocket. But then you get to the table and you look and you're like, wait a minute, is this him? You know, is that the guy?
I don't even look over there because it's too heartbreaking.
Some of them are hurting, and if they're really, and it's kind of heartbreaking to see them in such rough condition because you know they got to be hurting.
And I know I think I would make a face that would show my sadness. So I don't go over there. I don't even look. I'm serious because
I know.
When you see Sergeant Slaughter, he's always sitting in the doorway. I mean, the first thing you see is him, and you see him, and he's sitting on that walker because he uses a walker. And you know the walker that you walk behind, but it has a seat and you can sit, and then he sits on that, and he just looks so bad. And then you see who's the guy that broke his neck? Lex Luger. Luger. I always call him Luther. Luger. He's in the wheelchair and he's real skinny. And you remember him in the 80s when he was big, and you know, and he's usually there. We saw him in Tennessee. He was actually in Tennessee.
We see him in a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
He's around.
He's usually there everywhere Sergeant Slaughter goes, but Sergeant Slaughter wasn't in Tennessee. And he just looks so sad. And it was another guy there.
Buff Bagwell with the crutch because he couldn't walk.
Yeah, so you see all of that, and you're just like, no, so I don't even bother.
It's hard.
What horror movie will you watch on Halloween night? I don't know. I mean, you know, whatever's on. Usually, what's that station? Newcastle
After Dark on YouTube has some great like 70s B film horror classics that they show, and Hammer films and stuff that they host. Yeah. And they talk about it. You know, they do a break in the middle and they talk about it, and it's actually kind of fun. And there's some pretty interesting horror and like shock drama movies that you may not have heard of or may have forgotten about that they showcase.
But in the month of October, they show a movie a week. Usually they just put out one movie a month.
Yeah.
But in October, they try to put out one a week. So we probably will watch something like that. But we don't plan to do anything on anything.
Out of sight wants to know if you got that man thing from Mondo.
Yeah, I got it. Not the exclusive.
The sketch one, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, I haven't gotten that one yet. That one's coming. I haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah.
And John McJunkin want to know my thoughts on the Twilight movie. I never saw the Twilight movies.
No,
I never saw them.
I didn't see them, but I heard them because when I had the JJA facility, they were watching it in the day room, and I was sitting in the office, and the office door is open because I've got to observe them, but I could hear them. They were watching the movie, and I was listening to it, and I came out to see what it was because like, what is this? Because the dialogue sounded so primitive. I was like, God, it sounds like trash. What the hell are they watching? I don't know if that's a reflection on the book or not.
I saw the book. I was on an airplane, and it was a girl sitting next to me, and she was reading it. And the words were so big. It looked like it was for the, they have the books with the words in it for people that are, have a hard time seeing, how the words are just so big.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there, and because she had she had it like tipped up so I could see that it said Twilight. And I'm like, that's a Twilight book? And I read like a paragraph. And I'm like, this is awful. So I was like, no.
You know what would have made Twilight good?
What?
Is if at the end Blade showed up.
Killed them all.
Vampire Hunter. Blade could have handled it.
Shiny Hunter. I'm obsessed lately with Mark's MPC. What's that word? Etc. Army men style figures and play sets.
Oh yeah.
So many.
The little mini
knockoffs.
sets. Mark's made some great stuff. Tim Mee also,
Mm-hmm.
and the Tim Mee sets would be a lot cheaper because they're from a later era. But those Mark's sets, they're elaborate. There's a lot of pieces. They're interesting. They're little figure, like little army men type figures. But even the cannons actually fire and stuff. They're impressive sets, and they're tough to find complete.
And Zombie says Mattel Walmart pushed them out of the Origins. They went from $14 to $22.
$22.97, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, rollback $97 instead of $99.
Yeah.
Rollback.
Let's see if they made lunch boxes again. Would you want anything to be different? Maybe character shaped thermos with soda characters inside. No, just a lunchbox and a thermos.
I wouldn't want any modern lunchboxes myself.
I mean, if they made cool characters that they didn't make in the past, or
is there such a thing?
No.
They made a lunchbox for freaking everything.
I know. Well, they didn't really do a lot of good ones for wrestlers because I tried to find some.
No, that's true. Or team sports. There's very few actual team sports.
No, I wouldn't get the team sports anyway.
Or wrestlers.
Yeah,
that's true.
But I just think that that would probably do well.
Mm-hmm.
So Virgil needs money. Virgil's always at the thing, sitting at the table by himself. Nobody comes to his table. They said he was going to be at the one in Tennessee when we went, and I actually looked for him, but I didn't see him.
The other wrestlers probably caught him in the big parking lot and beat him up so he wouldn't come in. Virgil's a jerk. There's a lot of bad stories about him at shows causing problems. He did that to the guy from New 80s Revolution.
Yeah, he said that.
There's another channel called New 80s Revolution. And he was in line with a belt, and this was a big deal kind of belt. He invested in this wrestling belt, and it was specific to someone that he was there for the signing for, and he had it over his shoulder. Virgil just shows up at the event. He's not scheduled at all. Comes up behind him, signs the belt, and he's like, "What did you do?" Because it was specific to someone else, and that's who he was in line for. And he was pissed and wanted to get paid for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard
Jerk.
stories about Virgil. He just shows up. Nobody is expecting him
Ted
to be
DiBiase
there.
said that too. He's like, dude, I don't mind, but
Yeah,
at
just
least
say
let
you're
me
coming.
know. Don't just show up with a folding chair and sit
And a
down next to
table.
me and it's
Yeah.
like, where'd you come from? Oh no.
Let me see. I noticed many stand-up comedians use pictures that are 20 years old to advertise on social media.
Yeah.
Entertainment, where the E is for exploitation.
Yeah. It's like, you know what kills me too is some
What?
of these other guests like Pixel Dan.
Mm.
Pixel Dan, his caricature
Mm-hmm.
that looks nothing like him that's on the banner behind him.
I rewatched Mickey Rourke's The Wrestler. That is a good movie.
It is, and
it is so depressing.
It
real
looks
for
at
a lot of
it looks at the sad end of it.
Yeah,
pretty deeply.
It does. I only seen the first Back to the Future. David, imagine if they made the Andre the Giant with pooping action.
Oh no.
So, other wrestling figures.
That only technically happened once. That only technically happened one time.
Flair almost died in that plane crash. His story is amazing. I was shocked when the Ultimate Warrior passed. My dad loved him more. Some Ric Flair. Woohoo! David, have you ever collected any Super Sentinel action figures from the original 1970s show?
Super Sentai.
Sentai.
Super Sentai is what the template for Power Rangers.
Okay.
No, I never had any of the original Japanese stuff. I wish I did. And that stuff's hard to find now too. What's that one?
What?
Oh, sorry. K. Hey guys, hope you are doing well. Do you have value signatures of stars?
We see
K joining us.
K Mars
joining us. Thank you for joining us. Are you talking about autographs? Do we have autographs? Is that what you mean?
David got wrestling autographs.
So do you. I had a stack of wrestling autographs like that deep, and somebody took them from me. I wonder who that is.
I don't know.
You don't know who took? You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that's your client. She took my wrestling autographs. It's okay. She can have them. I have others. I do have. Actually, I think I have some sitting back here. Do I? Oh, I do.
Did they ever do a Tops wrestling cards? Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant.
I don't remember.
What do you think now? Triple H in charge of wrestling. I thought so. It didn't go to the daughter and the son. What's the daughter name?
I don't know. Somebody.
Stephanie and the son.
I don't. We don't follow it anymore. So it's like, who cares? From our perspective, not trying to trash you if you like it, but we lost interest in wrestling in the mid '90s because it just didn't feel right anymore. So whatever they do with it, I don't know. It's. Look at this one. Ricardo Montalban and Hervé Villachet there. That's a good one. This is a good one. Since he won't sign that anymore, Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's another one you'll never see again. A Dwayne Johnson signed Rocky Maivia. Yeah. When he was Rocky Maivia when he first came out way back in the day. And one of my favorites here. The Rock and Stone Cold. That's a great shot. And I got a bunch of comic book related stuff. There's just a few that happened to be sitting here since you brought that up.
Wow, those are great signed photos. Yeah.
Yeah. But I got stacks and stacks of autographed comic books. And we were talking about that earlier because I was thinking about reaching out to EGS to get them graded because I just like the way their slabs look.
Oh, Shane is with the WWE anymore, so Triple H is the new king.
I see.
Okay. I guess because Triple H and Stephanie had gotten married.
I don't remember.
So, well, I know when I stopped watching it, Triple H had kidnapped her, drugged her, and they got married. I thought that was a part of the act, but I guess they really did get married at some point, and that
Yeah.
was the problem with China, because him and China was together for real, and some stuff was going on, and I guess him and Stephanie really did get married, but I know they had did that as part of the
That's the storyline,
storyline.
yeah.
He had kidnapped her and took her to Vegas, and she was all and I remember thinking that there's no way in the world a person can be that out of it and you can get married. Cause they did the drive-through wedding and they showed all that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
Extreme Zone doesn't care for the rollback. They're not as cheap as they act. It's not,
no,
this ain't the 70s anymore.
no. And they don't ever have a sale on nothing. Even in the clearance aisle, the stuff ain't cheap.
Ridley says, "You sure you don't want to start a YouTube feud? It might be fun." No, I don't want to do all that. There's too
No.
many of these guys doing that, anyways, without even naming anybody. But there's a handful of like these toy channels and a couple of comic book channels, and they got a little feud going on. And I'm like, do you really need the negative attention?
No.
Yeah, I'd rather just have the positive attention than a feud with people for.
No. And
And
then
I think they're faking it anyways, to be honest. But
and then what kind of character is that? But anyway,
yeah.
keep on going. Why does it seem like modern collectors only collect for the value instead of the joy? And you see that a lot, especially
In the comics,
in the comic books, because
again, excuse me.
especially because we've been watching it a lot lately, and you see these people doing the unboxings and they send their stuff off to CGC and they're getting it back, and they always say, and you wonder, is any of this you're keeping? Everything? Oh yeah, I'm going to sell this, or I had plans on selling this because the movie came out,
Yeah.
but because CGC is so slow, the movie's already been come and gone, or the TV show's come and gone. And it's like,
and it's all for spec. Do you
yeah,
enjoy any of it?
because I know the books I bought, I got them out of the dollar bin. I buy it because I like the cover, period, plain and simple. And I don't care that it's not worth anything. That's not why I bought it. Some of them I'm gonna read. I think it's about 2 or 3 I bought simply for the cover. Others I really like, but I would only read it in an omnibus form because I just like reading having one big book. I don't want to sit there and flip through book, and then you got to get them in order. What if you don't have it in order, or then they pick up the story later in another whole book that you don't have? So I like the omnibus because the omnibus takes everything and put it together in one. But I collect for the sheer joy. Period.
Yeah, they're upset about every book they unpack, even when they get a 9.8.
Yeah.
They're still bitching. Oh well, I didn't get it in time to be able to get the maximum dollar value out of this. I almost want to watch it just to see them cry.
Yeah.
Oh, you lost money. Good for you.
And
Because
Johnny
you don't really love the hobby.
Johnny told me of a channel, and I've been watching that channel, and I like that guy. He's a dealer, but he also shows his personal collection. And I like him because he's very knowledgeable, and he gives you like some understanding about the grading, and he doesn't get his personal books graded because he don't like the system.
Yeah. Unless
But
it's really old for preservation.
yeah, and that's the only reason why I'll grade books is for the preservation value.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this book is a golden age book. I really like it. I already read it, or I got it in an omnibus form. I'm going to get this one graded just so I can have it in a case so it doesn't get damaged.
Which is why I'm going to I'll be sending in that Batman 54. I read it, I restored it, and I don't want nothing else to happen to it. The pages are actually white. They are clean. I was like, oh, it's a piece of history. I want to preserve it now.
Yeah, and for my own personal books, I'm gonna get me some Mylar bags, and I get the backing board, and I get a nice little case I can lock it up in and set it aside. Once I read it, I have David press and clean it for me, and then I'll put it away. But I just like having them open. Open like that so I can see it and whatever else. But man, some of these people.
Yeah, it's incredible. Gregory says, do you just get the figures you like, or do you need to have the complete line?
No, I don't need to or nothing.
It's nice though. With me, I am sort of a, a completist, but most of what I collect is vintage stuff. So with certain lines, it's not that many pieces. Like the Inhumanoids, it's not a big set, but it's still hard to find. I'm missing 2, and if I can finish it, that's it. But a lot of the modern stuff, like if you try to collect Star Wars Black Series or Legends, you'll be neck deep in them. Or the wrestling figures too. That's really bad. There's so many. I don't think I could do it. And there are other lines that are really extensive. I'd like to do Star Wars. I'd like to do G.I. Joe more. But how far do I need to go? Because there's so many. And then there's all these this foreign variants and things going on. So it's like some of me is a completist and some isn't. It depends on how it strikes me.
I'm not even reading that, Stone Sour. David, you saw Hogan in person. What was he like?
Oh, Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
Oh, he loves it. He's a friendly, outgoing character. He enjoys it. If you go and you meet people at shows, you can get a sense of some people they like reaching out to people and some people they don't. And you can feel it. He's one of those guys that feels like he really enjoys it. He enjoys talking to people and meeting people, and he I guess what's the phrase for it? I love the love. He knows that he's very nostalgic to a lot of people, and he enjoys that. Hey, I made you happy. Hey, you enjoyed this in your childhood. I get it. Thank you so much.
Stone Sour says 89 to 97 was my favorite time for wrestling. That's the time I remember watching wrestling. I knew I watched it long before that because my dad always watched wrestling. And I remember watching it before that. But I really remember it in the mid 80s up to about 95, 6 or 7 like that. But I really remember it like in that time where you got there. But like I said, I know I watched it earlier than that.
Yes.
But I just don't remember like the characters or all that. But I know I was really into it and turned it on myself to watch during that time. Didn't see Hogan in person. That would be cool. But did see Lou Ferrigno at a con.
He's
Guy
a big dude.
is still huge.
He is a big dude. He still works out.
Have you met anyone star-wise? No, I've never met
She's
anyone.
seen them at shows, a few people, but not like, she don't talk to them.
No, because I feel so bad. So I don't never say nothing. And I never ran up on nobody or something like that.
No. I've talked to a few people, but I'm not like starstruck. I'm not that kind of guy. So there.
If you could put a clearance tag on someone, people will buy it because of the blind trust. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know
what Meaning Tattoo was like. Hervé Villachet, he was evil.
Oh, yeah.
And people were terrified of him. They were afraid of him. If you hear the people that talked before he killed himself.
That's the midget, right?
Yeah. But his ex-wives, his friends, the people that he worked with, yelling at people, threatening them. He carried firearms. He would point guns at people and threaten to kill them. He was nuts.
Mark Hamill doesn't like signing things anymore outside of the shows.
Yeah.
As people abuse him for them. Why are they abusing him?
Well, he doesn't like the idea. He's one of those celebrities that feels, and he's mostly right, that people are getting his autograph because they want to turn around and sell it.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't like that.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I get it.
Yeah. I've seen people be able to flip movies and figures for good profit, but I don't have the know-how. I intend to keep everything unless I'm at risk of homelessness or something. That's how I am. Stuff. I don't sell nothing. I mean, now it's a few things, action figures that I have duplicates of, I sell that. But I won't go to a store and see some, oh, I'm gonna buy this figure with intent to resell, or this comic book with the intentions of reselling it. If I have a duplicate, I'll resell it.
And I sell from time to time, and it's kind of the same thing. Like if I upgrade, like just recently, oh, they're over there though. Rock Lords. I got somebody had a couple of Rock Lords and carded, and I bought them from him. I got a deal on them. I already had the Rock Lords, but his cards looked better than mine. So then I turned around and I sold the other ones to compensate for the purchase. You know what I mean? So I do a lot more of that than anything else. I'm not like, oh, let me buy these and flip it, make a fortune.
These modern buyers are nothing but pandemic purchasers. We are now entering a space where the posers will be weeded out. You can tell this by the toy shelves and toy shows.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real deal, real talk.
Yeah,
hey,
real
deal.
Talk, real deal.
I'm with you. I try to get the old comics I remember
Trade
in the
paperback,
trade
yeah.
paperback. I also the old Silver Age comics. Heck, I'm trying to find that comic where the Doom was gonna pay Luke Cage Power Man. How are you both? Hey, JG.
Hey.
My mail package opening's coming up.
Okay.
Okay.
Nate says, would you recommend that Hot Toys Snyder Cut 2-pack? I watched your unboxing. They were okay, but I wouldn't buy it again. Honestly, I like the way they look, but I wouldn't buy it again. Yeah, Darren, Hulk Hogan is in rough shape, not like the other old wrestling guys. They all are. And remember, he's old. They are old.
Melody says her best friend from high school used to have her walls covered with the Rock and Roll Express. I remember putting posters up on the wall when I was young. My wall was covered with posters and stickers.
I did that because I had a subscription to World Book magazine, and it used to have the magazine, when it was mailed to your house, had a poster inside, and I used to put the posters up. And then one day, my mother came, and I must have had 20 of them up, and she pulled them all down and tore them to shreds. I don't even know why.
Johnny says, have any of us met the Undertaker in person? Oh, God, if I met the Undertaker in person, I would cut up.
The Undertaker?
I would scream and holler and fall out on the ground and probably roll around. I would just act a praying fool, and David would be so embarrassed he wouldn't even know me.
I would film it and put it on the show.
Oh, my God.
That'll tame you.
No, I've never seen him before.
Oh, JG was asking if we have an unboxing coming up.
Oh, no, we ain't got nothing coming.
Not anything right away, no.
David, what was it? Okay, meeting. Okay, yeah, we read all that. Hulk Hogan. And okay, we read all that. We all caught up. I had the WrestleMania album or vinyl around in 1989.
Okay. And this one right here, Reston says there's a video of Harrison Ford on Conan where a fan with a Lego Star Wars ship wants him to sign it. Harrison destroys the ship and signs a piece of it. I bet you that was staged.
Oh my God.
Because that's right up Conan O'Brien's alley to pull a stunt like that. So I bet it was staged. Seriously.
Even though you put together the whole Lego Death Star and you tear it up.
Millennium Falcon or Death Star?
He said Star Wars, well, whatever. It's something.
Okay,
you put it together, but still, that's a million pieces you put together, and then you go on the show and tear it up.
Yeah, but I bet you that was staged.
Probably,
that sounds like something that he would do. Robert wants to know what Ricardo Montalban was like. Ricardo Montalban's a sweetheart. He's a gentleman. He's a nice guy. Oh, what would you do if you met Pee Wee Herman?
Nothing. Probably wouldn't even recognize him and be like, who are you?
Without his wig. Hell, he was wearing a wig when he was on the Pee Wee show. Guy's been bald forever.
Magnum TA was one of my favorite in the NWA. Mr. T. Wasn't that Mr. T?
No.
What's that?
I'm trying to remember. That sounds familiar. But I'm not, I can't put my finger on it.
Best match that was that ever was. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior,
That never
Randy.
was.
Oh, that never was.
He's making a fantasy match.
Oh, okay. Sid Vicious and Undertaker. Hello, gang. Who remembers thumb wrestling? But oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
those.
the thumb wrestlers, and the highly inappropriate looking action figures with the thumb hole in their backside.
Mm-hmm.
So that you had them like this. Yeah, I remember those.
I had the first
Whoops.
WWF wrestling album. I didn't know they had an album. What's on it?
They-
Like the intros?
No, they actually did like who was it? Hillbilly Jim. They sang. Hillbilly Jim did. He
Ooh.
sang "Don't Go Messing with a Country Boy," and Hulk Hogan had that Real American. Although he doesn't actually sing on it, but he does play the guitar, and he really can play the guitar because he was in a band.
Oh wow.
He used to be in a band, and you can find real bad photos of him when he was skinny, like a basketball player, standing like this much taller than everyone else in the band, and they're all wearing matching suits like the Partridge Family or something. It looks pathetic. But yeah, it was an album, and they had a group album. They had a group song together also in the video. They all start fighting in the video like they can't get along with each other.
Oh my.
Like because they're supposed to be doing a chorus. Yeah, that's classic 80s right there. I like Hillbilly Jim.
Magnum TA would always go up against the Four Horsemen. Yeah, I had a WWF tape when I was a kid. Okay.
That sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Harrison Ford also rip apart the hot toys. Oh, I don't even want to read no more.
Was Captain Lou Ron Jeremy? You know he wasn't Zoran. No, Captain Lou was Mario from Mario Brothers. He used to host the cartoon on Saturday mornings. Captain Lou dressed as Mario.
Oh,
yeah.
I find wrestling at this time is too boring and takes itself too seriously. Yes, I prefer the 80s stuff.
It's all scripted and they can't act.
And you know what? When we were at my parents' house a couple weeks ago on A&E, they have the WWE Legends. So you remember we saw that with the Undertaker, and we
the
saw
interviews.
Shawn Michaels. We saw two. We were there, the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. And if that comes out on box set, I want to get it. But they interview the old wrestlers and they talk about, their time in wrestling, how things went, specific matches and stuff like that. And that's on A&E. And my parents didn't have cable, so we saw it while we were there. And it was actually a good series. And I remember them advertising saying that was coming out.
Yeah.
But I forgot about it until we were there and I was flipping through the channel and saw it. And then they showed parts from that classic fight with Mankind and the Undertaker. And a lot of that is scripted, but they really did fight, and he really fell
through the cage, and it wasn't scripted because Undertaker was like, he said he turned around and there's all these people in the cage, and he's like, what the hell are these guys doing in here?
Yeah.
And then he thought about it, and he saw Mick Foley just laying there, and he goes, is he alive? Is he alive? And they were like, we're checking.
So he just standing there. And then he said when they got on top of the cage, because that part wasn't scripted, but they got on top of the cage and Mick Foley falls off. And he said he's praying that he hits the table and not the floor. And it was just a good documentary. And I hope it comes out on box set because I want to see the rest. And the Shawn Michaels one was pretty good too. I didn't know he was on drugs that bad.
Yeah, and he was a real jerk too, apparently.
Yeah, he was.
But yeah, McJunkin, I remember midget wrestling. They don't do that anymore. Xena, Extreme Zone says wrestling's now just a soap opera. Like I said, it's all scripted and they can't act. See, back then they couldn't act either, but the shoots, they were told to just roll with it. Whatever your character is, you just do whatever you want. So it came more naturally. But if you're going to script a guy who can't act instead of just letting him do his own thing, it sounds really wooden. Kaiser says Ron Jeremy in Mario would be a different kind of show. They did do that. I remember there was a porno because that's who Ron Jeremy was.
Yeah.
That of Mario Brothers. and Nintendo purchased it and destroyed all of it because they did not want that association at all.
Oh,
so I don't
wow.
think you can find copies of that anywhere
Oh,
if you
somebody
if you
got
even
it.
cared. Yeah.
An Indiana Jones toy line was announced for Indy 5. How much you want to bet collectors will keep it alive? Ain't no kids today.
No kids today want action figures
No,
anyways.
they don't like that
And they're
stuff.
going to buy tons of it because they're going to be, oh, it'll be worth money. And that's a huge mistake,
Mhm.
not only because it separates you from true collecting, but also the same argument I always make. Back then, we opened everything. You know, the reason that carded and boxed figures from like 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, are worth so much is because 95% of them are loose. And the loose ones even are rough. Nowadays, how much do you think is getting opened? Maybe 15, 20% of it.
Yeah.
And the stuff that is sealed is pristine. Try selling a Funko Pop that has a ding on the box anywhere. Good luck. You know that it's not gonna be the same.
I saw Ron Jeremy at a con, and he saw me and pointed, saying, "I got work for you." You should have seen how fast I ran from the room.
He plays off of that a lot because and he's a raunchy guy.
Oh, is he? He's all fat now because he was in
He
that Baby
always
Got.
was.
No, he wasn't. Because he was in that Baby Got Back video.
Was he?
And I saw the documentary about that, or the behind the scenes, and they said that was Ron Jeremy. And Sir Mix-a-Lot wanted Ron Jeremy in it, and they showed a video clip of him in the 60s or 70s when he was big, and he was skinny. He was a skinny guy, just hairy as can be.
Okay.
But he was skinny.
I don't know. I've never seen him doing any of that stuff. I don't watch that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know, but
it's just he
was in Baby
just know
Got
who he
Back
is.
video.
I know who he is. I remember he's in that reality show.
Oh, he was in a
He was
reality
in a
show?
reality show. What was that show? They were A-lister. It was something about becoming an A-lister, and they were all B-lister stars. But they
is
were actually
porn considered B-list?
I don't know. I think that's a D, E, and F list. I think all of them. I don't know who anybody was in there. It's just like kind of know who, you know. I think Rob Van Winkle was in there. He was an A-lister once.
Robert. Oh, that's Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
He was only in like one movie, the Vanilla Ice movie.
No, but I mean as a rapper.
Oh, yeah.
Because for his moment in the 80s, he was big.
Yeah.
And then he had that Cool as Ice movie, which is funny. I actually recommend watching it.
It is funny.
And in that film is where the phrase is coined, drop that zero and get yourself a hero. Because he said it first.
How awesome would it have been if David Hasselhoff and the Baywatch had a Baywatch tie-in in the WWF in the 90s, and he wrestled as Mitch Buchanan?
I don't know if I would have liked that. It's kind of like when on WCW they brought in Jay Leno.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like Jay Leno with his like 45 layers of sweatsuits so that you can disguise how flabby he is. And his like his deadly chin strike. It's like that's when it was really dying wrestling for me. I just between that and when they brought Chucky in,
I was way off of it.
Chucky was threatening the Steiners, and I'm like, come on, honestly. But yeah, I think when they pull someone out of the real world, they got to fit. Like Mr. T worked.
Yeah, Mr. T was fine. Yeah,
he looked the part and he had the attitude.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, well, Mr. T and Hulk Hogan. That worked. Yeah. It looked right. But I don't know if David Hasselhoff would have worked.
I still have my #1 Indiana Jones comic book, says John Junkin. I have the Sideshow Temple Doom figures. That's Robert online.
Oh, okay.
And I missed something I was going to read. Oh, here we go. Nostalgia for the 70s. My mom took my brother and I many times to the Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto when the WWF was in town. We saw Andre Hogan, Roddy, Flair, and many more. That's cool. I never went to in my whole life I went to one wrestling match, and I was older then, and I took my brother and my mom and dad, and we all went. And that's where I saw the Undertaker. He was there. That's the only like big name that was there. But they always came to town, but we never went.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Baywatch, do you think it was a missed opportunity that a toy line never happened? They did that. A toy line. Didn't Mego do Baywatch?
No, that was Mego was defunct by then.
No, I mean, and they come back.
No,
they did everything else.
They were only done in pop form.
Oh, okay.
Not that it was outside the realm of possibility, but it really wasn't that kind of show.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like it would appeal to us now as adults, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like when Mego in 1980 did the Love Boat figures, 3 3/4 inch. Who wants action figures of the Love Boat? They didn't sell. Nowadays, it would make sense because we're like, oh, hey, yeah, I remember that show.
Mm-hmm.
But as kids, do you want to play with an Isaac figure and a Captain Stubing? I mean, it's not the kill. You know, if you were a kid watching the Love Boat, you watched it because you were waiting for Fantasy Island to come on because Fantasy Island came on at 10 o'clock. And occasionally, the Love Boat docked at Fantasy Island.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And then the people got off?
Yeah, every once in a while they did that. Roddy McDowell was on Fantasy Island.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. He had a recurring character.
Oh.
He played the devil when he was on Fantasy Island.
He was good on Columbo.
I like Roddy McDowell. He was a good actor. He had a good voice too.
Vintage wrestling was better because the story was told in the ring. Nowadays, the story is told outside the ring, and half the wrestling today isn't in-ring wrestling, but out-of-ring wrestling.
Yeah, and then also there was the illusion because they made it a point to not ever break character, ever. If you saw them anywhere, they were in character all the time, and they maintained the illusion that that it was real. Now you just know it's fake, and you know it's scripted, and you know that it's planned. But back then, even though you kind of knew, because they made fun of it, like even in that when we were watching Route 66, remember the one with the wrestler in it? I think it was Route 66, and the guy was a wrestler, and they were talking about staging it and scripting it and stuff then. And that was a show from the 60s. So people kind of knew, but the illusion was still there of, but is it? Because they would never break character.
But I think, and I don't know if we talked about it here before, but when that boy killed that girl is when I think they changed all
some
that.
years ago.
Yeah, a little boy, he was like 10, and he killed a 4-year-old girl. But the boy had mental issues, and they were watching wrestling, and then he started doing some of the wrestling moves, and she died. And I think after that is when they really changed the whole and made sure people understood that this was not real.
That could be a big tie into one of the reasons why they moved away from that. Besides all of the really bad writing that came out of WCW. WCW did not have good writers. Even Hulk Hogan, a lot of the people that bailed and went to WCW regretted it for that reason, even though they got paid better.
I have heard many Funko collectors say that the box means more than the figure. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, that tells you everything you need to know about hardcore Funko collectors. There's an argument, and I'm going to be doing. Somebody made a request about a topic, and I'm going to talk about that in one of our discussion videos coming up, our collector discussion videos. But I got to wonder how much a lot of them really even appreciate their pops, because a lot of them get autographs. They're sticklers about condition, but they're sticklers about the condition because they insist upon it maintaining a certain value. So is it valuable to you because of how much it's worth, or because you like the pop? And one of the arguments about the autographs has been that many of the people who collect pops, I think I brought this up in the last pop discussion, go out and get them autographed, because there's been a big jump in the autograph market. Because you remember, what's her name, Elvira, got overrun at that con, and she was scared so bad she left. Remember, they had a big problem with that, and she got nervous because of how many people were crowding her table with pops to sign. The reason that they tell you that they want them autographed is because for when eventually, and these are the same people that will sit there and tell you Funko forever, they'll never die, and all of this, they get them signed not because they want, they care about the autograph or the nostalgia or anything, but because they think it's going to help it retain value. So do you really care about that pop? You know what I mean? They're weird. Some of them are really weird. Some of them
care about mine.
Yeah, I mean, some
That's why
people,
I get rid of them.
some do, but I think there's more speculative collectors with pops than there are people who legitimately like them.
I think that's with most collecting, and you see it more
Nowadays.
and more. Yeah, nowadays when people are out, you know, the Marvel Legends, the Black series, whatever is out there that's popular, and you can't find it on the shelf still, is because people speculate. Oh, we got a new Disney movie coming out, or Star Wars movie or TV show coming out, so this is going to be hot and all of this and that there. And it's like, if you don't like it, why bother? Let people that want something get it. I know you want to make a couple of dollars and all of that, but I don't know. It just takes the fun out, and it took the fun out of it for me. And that's one of the reasons why I don't collect. I've cut back and I've stopped for a while, and I'm doing something else now, because it's like I'm tired of going to the store. I did want the that one Origins figure, and how many times we went to Target looking for that stupid thing, can't find it. And it's like, I look for it on Big Bad Toy Store, they don't have it, and all that. So it's like, I don't care. I don't have it, and that's fine. My life is not gonna be hurt by not having it.
Stone Sour says Beetlejuice was in WCW.
Really?
And Nostalgic said, don't forget when they brought in RoboCop. Oh, God, yeah, that was bad.
Oh, they brought in RoboCop?
I mean, come on.
Oh, wow.
Those guys are stupid. They should have been writing comic books.
51 years old. Yeah, that's Gregory. Filled out will to give all of my collectibles to my nephews when I pass. I don't sell my stuff. What are your plans?
We did a whole video on that.
Yeah, we did.
We did a few weeks back talking about, what are you going to do with it?
We're going to burn the house down with our bodies inside in our collection.
Viking funeral.
Yeah. A Viking funeral in the house. It's just, we're going to load the house up with gas just from top to bottom, and then just lay in the middle of the museum. Lord. And drop the match and just burn.
We joked about that in the video, and I put a clip in there from Fahrenheit 451 with the woman with the books. Because she did that. No, I have a middle son who's really into this. And if I had any more, I would hope that they would be into this.
Yeah.
So,
do you remember a roller derby show that was on TV in the 80s?
I don't remember a roller derby show.
Hey, Billy. I brought you to USS Flags. Oh, boy.
Love Boat. They had a playset. The Love Boat. Mego made a playset for the figures.
Hey, Edwin.
Oh, Edwin. It's so late.
Oh, boy.
He said he had a busy day today, but of course, as always, this will be still available.
Yeah, you can go back and watch it.
Go back and watch it. Anybody who came in late and they wanted to go back and see, because we're over 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
What's for dinner?
You have stuff from last night. I have to cook me dinner. You have food from last night.
You trying to give me leftovers?
If you don't want it, I'll eat it, so I won't have to cook.
Moi? Leftovers?
You ain't too good for leftovers.
Moi?
Go into a comic shop to sell the rare pops for $9,000 value, and the shop decides
the shop's
$9.
Gonna rip you off, even in trade. And I wish I had. I didn't discuss that, did I? The guy at the I keep forgetting the name of that one show, the one that was in Tennessee. There was a guy going around with books.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and I caught him out of the corner of my eye at a dealer's table, and and the guy was like, oh, I can do. He had slabbed books, and they were Silver Age keys, and he was like, well, I can do like 200 cash, or I can do 270 in trade. And he had a stack, and the one on the top was like a 7.5 Spider-Man 194, which is the first appearance of the Black Cat. And I'm like, that's worth more than that's worth like I don't know how much more off the top of my head. It's probably worth like $400 at least. But then he's like, he's got other books there too, and he takes the cash, and I'm like, I went and I grabbed him, and I was like, hey, you're selling? Do you have anything else? And he was like, no, that was it. And I was like, oh, dude, because if I had caught him sooner, no lie, if I caught him sooner, I'd have come up behind him and be like, hey, come on, and pulled him away from the table, because I'll pay you the trade value. I was like, he said 200 in cash or 270 in trade. I'll give you 3 for the stack. Just, and because I'm looking for a deal, but I'm a collector. I'm gonna keep them. I'm not gonna turn and flip them on you. And I hate seeing people going to a dealer and just getting hosed.
Yeah.
Really. And then the guy takes the whole stack and drops. I literally drops them into a box in the front. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I always catch them after they made the deal, and I got to try to be more proactive with that. I mean, I'll pay you half. Yeah, I'll pay you half. You're still not getting the full retail value, but at least I'm going to love them,
And you're going to get more than that guy gave you.
Ridley says David acting like the 1950s, coming home from a hard day's work and waiting for a hot meal. LPH ain't that kind of housewife. Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I cook all his meals.
She does cook.
Wash his clothes and all of that.
No, she's a good wife. She really is.
Yeah, but he just didn't finish his food last night, so he's going to eat it before a new one get cooked.
No, I appreciate her. I really do. We joke, but yeah, I appreciate her. Hank.
Zoran has to go.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for joining us. Check his Walmart
before they close. They're gonna close like at 11.
Oh yeah. Well, we don't know what time zone he's in.
That's right.
Where am I? Master, I wonder if anyone pulled a gun at a comic shop and said, I want my value. Yeah. I seriously doubt that.
Yeah, because the local comic book shop we were at like 2 weeks ago on Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
They were talking about how they bought a pedigree comic lot from somebody.
A massive lot. You're talking like 30 long boxes in gold and silver age stuff.
And they
pedigree collection.
Yeah. And they had some titles in that book, in that lot.
And the condition is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The condition is, you don't see conditions like this, and priced accordingly, but I can justify that because of how hard some of it is to find.
Yeah, but they didn't give that person that much money.
And I would have loved to have been able to do that, and I'd have a hard time getting rid of it. I wouldn't want to sell. I'd be like, you know what? I need this one. I need this one. Her too.
Yeah.
Her too, especially when you get to like those old crime and horror stuff from.
Yeah, because I get the I collect the horror books, the horror comics, and they're hard to find. It's not so much hard to find; they're expensive. So, but if I seen them, I'm like, oh no, I don't think I can get rid of this. So I'll keep everything because I don't get rid of nothing.
Darren says you guys do the best live stream because you interact with the people in the chat. Well, I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here doing this. So why wouldn't we talk to you? I know what he's talking about though, and I can kind of understand if it's like huge. Like I've seen some of the bigger ones, and they get like 9,000 people watching, and how do you keep up?
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's cool for your channel.
Sure, that'd be great. I
You
wish I
never
had.
read anything.
Yeah, but I mean, we enjoy interacting with the people that watch the channel, getting their insight, things like that.
Let me see. Oh, retro philosophers LPH still want your Jason with the bag on the face pop. I know you're not getting it. I think that's the one I traded for. I think that's the one I traded
Mhm.
for. I traded for one of those Jason pops. I had a pop somebody wanted, and they knew I wanted that and was having a hard time finding it. And we traded for it. And Edwin says the only wrestler he thinks about is Chief White Owl. I never
That
heard
sounds
of.
familiar, actually. Yeah, Darren says I'm lucky to have LPH. You are correct. I'm not lucky. I am blessed. I am. She's
I ate
fantastic.
pizza and soda.
She's fantastic, and not just because she cooks dinner. She's just fantastic all the way around.
I have decided to cancel a few pre-orders and try, although hard to focus on stuff I have
Yeah,
always liked since a kid. 1/6 collecting is still bottomless pit. Yeah,
it is. It's expensive.
it is
It just
expensive.
like certain lines, like the Marvel lines and the Star Wars lines, they just keep
Hmm.
cranking them out, and
They never end.
the prices are going up and up and up and up, and it's like, wow. I'd rather I would
Oh wow.
I would rather if I'm going to invest. You can see it here in our tours and in the backgrounds. I would rather invest in the vintage stuff. It means more to me.
John says wife Debbie went to a with some friends to a vintage fabrics. You know, I'll die going.
She makes quilts. She did these chairs.
Hmm.
My
I can't go to the fabric shop, and I go to my quilting class, and we always talk about going to the fabric shop. And I told him I'm not going. I'm going to spend too much money.
somebody wanted to know what the leftovers were. She baked salmon.
Yeah, he got salmon and broccoli.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So he didn't finish it yesterday.
Because it was too much. It was she
Mhm.
made like double servings.
Yeah.
And Hank says we do have the best live streams. Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate the viewership. We appreciate the people that watch the channel and participate. That's why we do the giveaways from time to time, just trying to give something a little back.
Master says, are we going to do
videos.
a collab with your viewers? We've talked about that.
Mhm.
Get it, but you got to have the video camera. So if somebody with the video camera.
Oh, Ridley says I've seen live streams where people refuse to read chat unless it's a super chat.
Oh.
But that means that they'll read the comment where someone made a donation. Which I have that is enabled. You know, like Stone Sour gave us $1.99 earlier, but it's not a requirement.
No,
by any means. You know, we like talking to you.
Really ask if I'm your mama, because I said you got to eat the old food.
You better clean that plate.
Because if you don't, you're gonna have a refrigerator full of leftovers.
No, we won't, because I'll feed them to our
no, feed them to yourself.
I'll feed them to the strays that we take care of on our little
cat
sanctuary.
We have talked about doing collaborations.
Mm-hmm.
We have talked about that, but we got to find the program that allow us to have more than one video on at the same time, and we don't have the software. We don't have the right software.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Mm-mm. I've seen lives. Okay, you read that. If you ever saw Batman Return of the Joker, there's a great scare at the end. Appreciate the people in your life. As far as 1/6 scale goes, going to continue my custom 1/6 bionic figures and a few sci-fi and 70s show characters. Okay. Batman
Hank wants to know if we ever thought about a viewer meetup. It'd be hard to schedule.
What's a viewer meetup? You meet someplace in person?
Meet with the viewers. Yeah. Well, we kind of do that at the shows, because we always do the show announcements where we're going to go and we film the show for the channel.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, anybody at the show, it's like, if you want to come up and say hi and talk
Oh
and whatever.
yeah, we did do one.
We meet a lot of people that way. There's a lot of people who do come up to us at the shows. Surprisingly, it's like, because again, we don't think we're that big of a channel, but it's like, hey, open by chance, hey David, and and come up and talk to us and chat real quick and whatever. But yeah, we do run into people that way. And there's Stone Sour, $2 super chats go towards the Stray Cats support, guys. Oh, we appreciate that, because we do take care of a lot of strays.
We did do a collab with the Master Mexico. That was on his channel.
That's right. That's
he
right.
invited us and
Masters
he hosted it.
Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah, he had the software, and it was us and what, 4 or 5 other people.
Yeah, there was
something like that.
Somebody from Germany and somebody from like Peru and just a bunch
Somebody
of other
from
places.
Spain and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, we've done that twice with him.
Yeah,
but he had the software. We don't have the software,
and we're not like big enough for some of these other channels to even care about us. So, like, peasant, how dare you? It's like upstairs, downstairs with the bigwig channels. Like,
how's he doing? I don't know. We contact him often, like a couple of times a week.
For those of you who don't know, he's very sick.
Yeah, Masters Maniac Mexico.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
He's very sick, but we have not heard from him in a couple of weeks at all.
Yeah, and we do contact him on Facebook every few days, just to see how he's doing, but he hasn't responded. So, we don't know. So we can only contact him.
Ridley says, I would get on camera, but I don't want to scare your fan base because I'm fugly.
No, you're not.
Who was fugly? That comes from Clerks, doesn't it? You're trying to say that I'm fugly.
That sounds like a Muppet.
Yeah, Fugly the Muppet.
Yeah, I hope he's okay too. But we haven't heard anything from him, and we do contact him, but he hasn't responded. So we can only guess.
Yeah, who knows?
I would be up for a collaboration, talking 70s toys, bionic toys, Japanese robot toys.
Yeah, Bionic Man.
We're all meeting at
Chili's after the show. That'd be a long drive for a few of you.
Yeah.
Chili's?
You like Chili's?
Do I?
You eat there.
Do I?
They have a bean burger or something.
I don't think, no, they don't have it anymore. And they replaced the black bean burger with a Prager burger.
But you like Prager burger?
There's 2 different Prager burgers. There's the one that's meant to be grilled, and there's one that's meant to be baked.
Oh.
And if you grill the baked one, it falls completely apart. And apparently, they don't know the difference.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, I would go to Steak and Shake. I get that grilled cheese sandwich.
I'll go to Waffle House. We can all meet at Waffle House.
Yeah. See, we like
some grits.
Simple is good. No, I don't want grits. You'll just complain because no matter what happens, they'll be too lumpy.
They don't always be lumpy.
And then you'll mix a ton of ketchup in it. You'll be like, I can't eat this. That's what'll happen.
Raccoon eyes, thank you.
Oh, kitty fun. That's beautiful.
Waffle House is just Southern hibachi. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, we have a local hibachi place that's pretty good.
Yeah, we go there all the time.
They don't cook in front of you.
No.
It's not that kind. They do it out back, but it's inexpensive and it's decent.
Yeah,
and we like
it's
it.
Quick.
There's a really good mom and pop pizza place close by too.
Yeah. Some Greek place. I can't remember the name right now.
Never ever, Robert.
What?
Will I set foot in a Golden Corral again?
We went for Thanksgiving last year.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Oh, it was the worst experience of my life. And I already don't like Golden Corral.
And on free days, what do you want me to stand in line for 3 hours? Forget it.
Oh yeah, have Shoney's in Georgia.
There? I think there is.
It's
at the mall.
Shoney's?
At the mall.
No, it's not Shoney's.
There isn't? That's not Shoney's?
No, that's oh god, Piccadilly's.
Oh, okay.
There's no Shoney's. They shut it all down around here.
Okay.
If you mix ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise, ugh, that's nasty.
It tastes like Big Mac sauce. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All that is ketchup and mayonnaise mixed together. Raccoon, and again, thank you, Raccoon Eyes.
Yes.
That means a lot because we do like house a lot of strays.
Yeah.
Miss Kitty here, the poor abused cat.
The kittens.
The two kittens we just found.
Them bad cats.
Uncle, the 20-pound monster, tuxedo cat. And then the cats that come around the back porch. I got weird names for all of them.
He does.
Hobo.
The orange cat.
That orange cat. He looked like he came out of a washing machine. Fur all matted, scabs all over his face.
You got to get a picture of that one because his face looks really funny. He has a weird face.
But we take care of a lot of them. But yeah, he's doing better though.
Yeah,
he's doing better though. But yeah, we like taking care of him. Cat therapy. We like taking care of nature. Hot fudge cake from Shoney's Retro says.
Oh, wow.
What's that?
Reading John. He said, if you promise to give it a good place on your collection room wall, I will give you my rare red Ultraman. If and when I kick the bucket.
He would go right here. Right here with my other pieces. I used to have a lot more, but this is what I got now. I think the only original one I have is if you see this blue thing right here, that's a 1984 Icarus, Ultraman Icarus.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I of course I would take good care of it. I wouldn't sell it.
Yeah, when he dies.
Stone Sour gave us another $1. Thank you,
to make
Stone
it an
Sour.
even 10.
Thank
and
you, Stone
Robert
Sour.
Outback does the blooming onion.
That's right.
How do they collect super chats? I don't know how the super chat works.
I have no idea because if you got people from like 5 different channels of 5 different locations all sitting down and talking on this, and the host is collecting that, does he give a fraction to one of the other people?
I think you should divide it up on
I think that would be fair, but I don't know how that works.
Mm-hmm. Raccoon Eye said that they had to put down their 17-year-old cat on Thursday.
Oh yeah, wow, that's awful.
Yeah,
because cats, if they're well cared for, they'll live a long time. They'll live longer than dogs if they're healthy.
Yeah,
that's a shame though.
Yeah,
poor things.
All right,
but anyway, we have been on for 3 hours and 50 minutes, and we really probably should go get dinner.
We should go feed them cats.
Yeah, that too, because I bet they'll line it up. There's 9 they come out of the woods to our back door. 9. Plus we have 4 in the house.
And then at nighttime, the raccoons and the possum come. We put a chocolate cake out there. The next day that whole cake was gone, and they licked the pan it was on and set it to the side.
The raccoons did that.
I was like,
someone gave us a cake and it was from Walmart and it tasted terrible. I had a slice from it. I was like, oh, this is just, it tastes so like just waxy and just fake. And it was like, you know what? Put it out for the raccoons. They ate that whole damn cake and they cleaned the plate
and left it.
Yeah,
left it sitting to the side, all nice and neat. I was like, what? Because I really didn't think that.
Man.
I thought, maybe they'll pick at it. The whole thing was gone, and they because I just took the cover off and left the plastic.
You probably didn't need to do that.
No. And then it sits on a piece of cardboard. They clean the plastic and the cardboard and set them next to each other.
Yeah.
So at least they were nice about it. They didn't tear it up.
They do not make a mess. I don't mind the raccoons or the possums coming around because they don't. A lot of people complain, oh, they tear up when they, we haven't had that problem.
No, and they use the cat water dish to wash themselves up.
They do. They wash their little paws in the water dish and sniff around, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, and the deer come and eat up David little apples. They ate up all my strawberries.
They ate the leaves off my apple tree. The stupid deer.
Yeah, but, they ate all my mint and
they don't bother the cats.
Strawberries.
The cats don't bother them. They walk right past each other. Nice little sanctuary going. But yeah, we got to check and see if there's hungry cats, and we got to feed ourselves as well.
Yeah.
So we thank you all for joining us. We appreciate it, and we will see you again sometime soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Where's the thing?
Right there.